Sir Chris? Maybe not. I bet you he's. I know what may be going on with Chris. He was going to replace his motherboard and equipment with the stuff that you had given him. So it may be the case that he is adjusting for technical difficulties. Yeah, look at that. All right, so he's diving under the desk. Will he return? That is the question. I know if I tried to do that, I'd be down there probably all night and say, "Hey, you can listen to me from down there if you can hear me at all. Otherwise, I'm just going to take a nap." There you go. I see. We see you. We see that you're struggling with gravity, and I totally understand. Howdy, Neff.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. Somehow it got a virtual microphone installed. I know what it was. I just didn't know it would auto install everywhere and be like, "You're my default microphone." Now I installed a voice changing microphone app because I was looking at doing voice work for my game that's coming up, and I'm like, well, "I'll just do it all myself with an app."
Why are we listening to your normal voice then? That's no fun.
I haven't even fired that. I have literally not even launched the app. I downloaded and installed it and forgot about it.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the troll. Let's hear the fairy. Let's hear the elf. All of them. Pull them out.
I don't even know where the app is or what it was called. So I would literally have to go diving for it.
So, well, hold on. C probably has some recommendations. He just did some diving there himself, trying to dive and get the computer there to cooperate. We still can't hear you, man. I know you can be cursing and carrying on, and unless we can read lips, which is maybe a possibility since we're recording this.
Cat's turned off the button.
Hey, there we go. Well, now we hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I was down here moving model cars to get to the button.
Okay. The cats wanted some privacy. That's what it was.
I'm interested in this voice app too. I'm wanting to hear Donald Duck do our DMing tonight.
I'm working on it now.
And you're stuck in the bunker.
I'm firing this thing up. Let's see how it works.
Okay, yeah.
It was free, so let's keep our expectations in order.
My familiar rat Templeton, I've been trying to polish up with my Paul Lynn voice. I'm such a rat.
Okay. That would just need the wheezy laugh. That'll work. It's perfect. We're doing this in roll 20, so let's see here. Roll.
All right. Does this thing autoplay into my own headphones? Let's see.
Is that thing on fire in there yet?
Oh, this is fascinating. They give me different free voices every day. That's how they monetize.
Oh, boy.
You can always make your own custom voices, but like certain pre-mades are. Okay, this thing is apparently
frightening.
There we go. Okay, let's see how this changes. Okay, that's just an echo. I don't need that.
No, it might be good for dramatic effect, though.
Well, here we go.
I'm relaxing on the beach, it looks like.
It does look comfortable.
I'm laying back in my recliner.
No, that's Donald Duck. Go for it.
Clean, I guess, is just me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, we should have switched it on him. We should have said clean is actually the Donald Duck voice.
Yeah. There we go. What's this one sound like? Oh, that's just an echo. It's a little bit of auto tune.
You sound like Megatron.
I'm more like Soundwave.
Yeah, Soundwave. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was in a major chord, so it's the cheery voice of doom.
Do I need to say things like, "Yes, Megatron, Starscream is an idiot"?
That'll work.
If Justin Bieber was Soundwave, it would work.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, this is not a bad little app. Evil AI. They all sound a little bit robotic for my tastes.
There's only so much you can do with that sort of app, though. Yeah, you've got to add your own flair, to it. Yeah.
I'm gonna switch back to regular microphone.
Make that Ric Flair.
And then I'm going to close that up.
Are we about to be rickrolled from somebody now that you brought that up? Yeah, I can see it. Somebody, look at him. He's got that look on his face. I see his arm moving.
Did you know they removed the Rickroll? They removed the Rickroll music video from YouTube. Seriously? The one everybody had been linking to for years. And it was sad because the guy who originally posted it was making money off of it because an ad would play after the movie, after the video. So if you stayed and watched the whole thing, because a lot of people would, he'd make a half a nickel. And so he was just like,
Wow.
"Oh, I was making nearly 50 grand a year off that thing."
Yeah, that really is a shame because he promised never to give you up.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Never
sad
let
that
me
they.
down.
Yeah,
Just,
I feel
you
let
made me
down.
fire all the way around.
Yeah, yeah. In general, let down would be how to describe it.
Mhm.
All right, real quick, I just need to check the character sheets of the people who weren't there. For instance, Lydia. I see Lydia's character sheet is using a square token. I'm going to fix that. Put you in our cool looking token. So that you match all the other players.
That sounds good.
I went through mine. It looks like everything's there. He's only got one spell, first level. So
Sorry, all my stuff is on that Unity game I'm making. I've made wicked progress on my Unity game. It's really cool. I didn't know it would be so easy to put together. And I'm trying to find my.
I think you just doomed yourself with that statement.
Why would I say this? Why would I do that?
That's right. We'll cut it out of the recording if it helps.
Me.
That's right. People will wonder, what did he say? He jinxed himself somehow.
And this is Lydia. I put a slash in there.
Just use that bleeping sound effect and make people think he was just being very profane.
I could do that too. Yeah.
No one can ever be as obscene as the most obscene character in all of movie history, R2-D2. They had to believe every word he said.
That was sad. Actually, come to think of it, I think I have a voice changer that I can use in my editing software. So I might actually try that out.
All right, now
Make him Megatron while he's jinxing himself.
I had everything prepped last week. Is it still? Do I remember what's going on? It's always the tricky part.
I don't think you did anything last week other than go over character sheet.
No, but I did all my prep work because I thought we might be because I was getting ready to play last week. But people weren't. They were switching characters on me and all kinds of stuff. It looks like everything's correct in your sheet, Jason. Just double checking things.
The roll may be ending. This character has Dex as a dump stat.
Oops. Let's see.
I don't think my dex is all that great either, Steve.
Well, mine's required me to swim, and I'm a dwarf.
Charisma for reflex saves and armor class.
Are you let's see, what class? Tranquil Guardian. Is that a druid? What is that?
That's one of the under Asimar. It's a
Paladin. Okay, that was my.
Yeah, it's under that same page where that halo was.
Yeah, I just didn't know what its base class was because you put in the. So let me just change the class to Paladin parentheses, so I know what it is you are.
No, I thought Tranquil Guardian Gardener as a base class was probably about right.
I thought it was a druid when I first saw it. I was like, okay, it's a druid. That makes sense to me.
I originally thought about doing a druid, and then at the last minute I changed to paladin. It fit my story better.
Paladins are great. All right, so
You could be a druid paladin, be the Knights of Knee.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Those are definitely rangers.
Robbery.
I have to keep explaining to people that according to D&D Pathfinder, whether you like it or not, Gandalf is not a wizard. He is a cleric. Like, he casts only cleric spells. That's just math. He never casts a wizard spell. He only casts cleric spells. I don't know what else he could be.
He's just holding back. That's all.
He also never carries around a spell book to study from. He's a cleric.
He's memorized everything.
And he's a
All
cleric
knowledge.
He's a cleric with the light and good domains.
Again, he's just holding back.
He's casting miracle too often to be holding back. Plus, actually,
That's the scary part. He's still holding back.
If you read the Similarian, he's also definitely a cleric because of the Alendar. Stephen Colbert would know the answer to this. Do we have all our players? Are we waiting on anyone? Or did we get started at 8?
Waiting on the prince.
Okay, great. That gives me a few seconds to run grab a beverage. Be right back.
I have a question for the group that knows how to add feats that affect your abilities. I've done the compendium drag and drop compatible thing to add some feats to my character sheet, but they don't seem to be affecting the stats. How do I tie those together? Do you know?
Give an example of one of your feats.
Dodge
I
and
know-
toughness.
I know they're clawed and stuff, but yeah.
I named the left foot dodge and the right foot toughness.
What about that foot that's tattooed right there on your chest?
That's a fist.
That's a fist. That's right, yeah. But your feet are fist and foot's are fisty feet.
Bill, if you click the mode button, your ability scores will zoom out and you have a miscellaneous option and an enhancement option and buffs. You can change the numbers for putting those things that the feats give you in there.
Yeah, but shouldn't they automatically add in without having to be calling them buffs?
Yeah, a lot of things the compendium doesn't really work for me that way either.
Yeah, I never really used compendium. I just plugged the numbers in myself.
It said drag and drop compatible. I expected.
No, it's them. They really meant dragon compatible. So you can be in there. The dragon stuff, that's different. But dragon, yeah.
So I have to recreate these in buffs. Okay.
Wow, roll 20 on a touch screen is interesting on like an iPad.
When I ask you to roll a perception check, you're going to roll everything else. A performance check,
Yeah, I saw that.
Have you gone up there where it says current buffs, set buffs, and are any of those conditions or anything like that for you, Bill?
They're blank at the moment.
If that's what you were looking at, was
beep beep. I heard beep beep. What's beep?
Sorry, I had an alarm set.
Oh.
To remind me if I was still playing.
Stop playing, you bum. You need to play something else. That's right. Although, frankly, it doesn't look like you really have changed all that much. You're still on the beach. Either way, you're
I'm
still on
enjoying
the beach. That's
I'm
it.
laying here in my beach chair. Actually, I'm going to call it a hammock. I'm in a hammock right now on the beach.
All right.
Just doing my D&D, my Pathfinder thing.
Hopefully, you are not near one of the world's 10 deadliest trees. Have tied up your hammock to a coconut tree.
No. I'll look up. No. There's no coconuts above me.
There you go. It turns out those things are deadly.
I've got a bad habit. I just finished my Final Fantasy stream. I've got a bad habit of I get caught up in the game and I forget to take pictures so that I can use them when I'm writing my little article to put on the Zen Bassmasters page. So now, tomorrow, I'm going to have to log back in and do something so that I can make some pictures.
You need to go back and make the footage for the.
You need to write yourself a macro script that just hits print screen randomly once a minute.
Yeah, there we go.
It's going to be the found footage Final Fantasy 14 edition.
Well, you've been streaming long enough. You should be able to just make it record all your streams, right? And
Oh,
keep
it
them for a
is.
week.
We're recording all the streams. It's just that I want to write a text article.
Right, but you can always pull a frame out of the video.
Yeah, we could do that. That's a lot of trouble, though.
Not
When I
really.
Well, it's not that much.
There's a couple of really free ones, free editors. You just need to scroll through the video. I think even the basic Windows one will do it. You just play the video, download the file, play the video, scroll through, find what you want, hit screen grab.
The main disadvantage, and the reason I don't recommend it, is the quality. You're not going to get as good a quality as if you're taking an original screenshot. But
that's true.
For purposes of writing your blog, then that should be just fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use a full res screenshot anyway.
Maybe we do. We're crazy.
Thanks
Hey man,
for
how's it going?
the-
Mr. Peg, we do not see your library.
I'm turning it on. It started weird. I didn't want to have it starting.
Really? Okay. I know you have a legitimate reason to have a library there, whereas everybody else is just chilling wherever they want.
That's perfect timing. I was about to say Oliver and Sebastian are playing a professional wrestling fantasy where Sebastian is a ring announcer and Oliver is some other wrestler, and they're just beating the crap out of each other. Play fighting, but
Okay, I'm having to process that. The ring announcer is getting in on the action. All right,
Yes.
I'm doing a pile driver. Here we go. Boom. That's right.
Yeah, that sounds like a wrestling to me.
I was
Yeah.
about to say,
I'm hitting him
Lawler
over the
will
top of
do
the head
that.
with a chair. Ow! I'm getting hit over the top of the head with a chair.
Yeah, Larry the King Lawler, he even after he retired to be a ring announcer, sometimes he'd suit up and get on in there.
I have to download some more backgrounds, obviously.
I'm tempted to do what Steven's doing. That's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, I like that effect. That is pretty cool.
And you get like a throne, a hell throne, to make it look like I'm sitting on my throne in hell or heaven. I'll play God.
You sit on a throne of lies.
He needs the Vox again. He had a voice changer. He's doing Donald Duck earlier.
Yeah, most of my equipment is not on the character sheet. It's in PC Gen.
That's fine. As long as, yeah, I'm not worried about, there's a lot the character sheets do, but there's a lot that we don't need the character sheets to do. Let me turn my phone off. Oh, it's my mom. Give me 2 seconds. Give me a second. Let me mute myself.
Well, he's talking to Mom. See, how are you doing? Sounded like you had a rough week a couple weeks back.
No, I'm a little better, but at the same time, I've laid out of some of my pills. Once I get past this week, me and Peg have a very desperate all outside all day come Wednesday. I'm trying to save up for that. I will go back full blown on everything because it is starting to cool off a little. But
I got you.
even just a moderate heat stress kind of a day sent me into a Monday of before last game. I came home so dizzy I had to hang onto the walls to walk through the house, and that lasted plumb those from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till after 9 o'clock at night. I was supposed to meet Peg at 4 in the morning to go do a stop, and I had to call and bail out of it. I was some better the next morning, but I stayed home till I got over it. I had a little light spell with it again on Friday, and it lingered over into Saturday. But it wasn't nearly as bad, as debilitating as that on Monday was.
And
I took it to the doctor. He said it was a result of a combination of some of the antibiotics I'm taking for that hole in my foot.
yeah,
And my blood pressure pills, they just upped. So between the combination of that plus the heat stress and everything else was really messing me up. And I backed off of some of it till we get past Sherman-Dixie on Wednesday. And then I'll ramp it back up while we're on vacation next week, which also segues me into the fact I want to be absent next Saturday.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on with that. You heading out?
Yep. Hey,
Okay.
guys. Bye, guys.
Howdy.
Hey.
Bye-bye. Take care.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Welcome back. Hang
I
in
know
there,
this-
see.
Krista's mom is one of the biggest supporters of the Zen Bassmasters on Facebook.
Yeah.
You never thought we'd have a Methodist preacher as a high-ranking follower, but yeah.
Yeah,
You know, my first DM was my pastor,
really.
to his credit. So Southern Baptist. So right there, you're like, what? It's even crazier. But
They don't mind dabbling in Satanism. They don't think they'll burn.
no, my grandmother found out I was playing D, and this was of course in the mid 90s, so she had heard stories, and so she didn't know what to make of it. So she asked the pastor, and he was like, well, we've heard a lot of things, but let's not jump to conclusions. Can I see the books? Let me take a look. Which was a much more rational approach to things that I was, in retrospect, than I expected, or I would have expected if I'd known. And so she took my books. I was very mad about it. And she gave them to my pastor, who read through them, and he came back with, no, this is fine. This is just Lord of the Rings. This is fine. Why don't I run a couple games for the boys? Like, he was like, yeah, as long as they're not playing evil characters, this is fine.
Well,
And our first campaign, we played through. We were all playing clerics and wizards and paladins. It only ran 3 or 4 game sessions for us, but
well,
We should do our own version of Footloose with gaming.
yeah. It's like that argument people were talking about how Doom was evil, the original Doom was evil and should never be played. And you failed to mention that one of the developers was Mormon and had no issue with anything with the game. Is really, you're not worshiping the devil, you're worshiping chainsaws.
and you're also killing demons.
You're
but at
also
the same
killing
time,
demons.
In retrospect, it turns out they were right. John Carmack and id Software were of the devil.
Here.
Just if you guys are down there on your at the bottom of the right side on your on the Roll20, if you see where you're if you switch that to your character's name, it'll switch your picture to your character icon, and we can get a nice row of everyone's character icons down there at the bottom.
Yeah, so we can see who all's going to die.
We can. I'll warn you guys. I run this game. I run games by the rules, and in all versions of D, even 5th edition, that means death is definitely on the table. I think PC death should be looking for dramatic and forward the story, but
Now, how did you say
it doesn't mean they're not going to happen. Down at the bottom of your chat bar on the right side, it's got as and then a drop-down menu.
Oh, I'm on an iPad, so I don't have any of that, I don't think.
You should.
On my chat menu. Oh, I see. Gotcha. I got
a
it.
nice row of images. Wonderful.
You asked for it.
Love it. Now let me just make sure I've got this proper. Oh, I see. Okay, so that puts them at 100%, puts them at 0%. So I should be able to do that transition pretty easily. All right, I'm ready to start when y'all are.
Go forth.
Well, I'm ready.
All right.
Looks like the game's
Yeah.
on here.
Bring you on over here. Tonight is the night of the annual King's speech.
Sure was dark. It would be dark down here. That's why I brought a candle.
Is it in full black? Can you guys not see it?
Yeah, it's full black.
Okay,
Yep,
that's
full
good because that means I haven't brought any of your tokens on. You'll be able to see it in a moment as I bring each of your tokens on and give you sight. We got to do a little introduction for everyone. Every year, the Architect King, as he is known by, is required to give a speech on the state of development in the city. Boulder Fife is the height of cog work in the world. No one makes better cogs anywhere, but in recent years, they've had a drastic short of both mithril and adamantine, which means they've been trying to get recycling going, but of course that's led to its own problems because the junk heaps have been scavenged for years. So financially speaking, there's a lot that's going on in this speech, and it's in high attendance, and there's a lot of heavy financial people. A lot of the big businessmen are very interested in what's being said tonight and what his plans are, which means that unlike other years speeches that are often a formality and more of an excuse for a ball, now this one is much more of a political affair. Typically, they fill what is called the anteum with the low folk who wouldn't be invited to a higher society. They are there just in case things go badly. They're the designated survivors, just in case. However, because there are so many political rivals and so many power brokers in attendance this year, they are filling the anteum both with the low folk, which is pretty common, but also higher ranking nobles. So there's a bit more of the stratosphere. To make matters worse, the anteum itself over the last few years had been rebuilt and reused as a kind of a church to a god of cog that had then fallen into disrepair or disfavor and had to be run out. So now they're just packing people in. While food is being served, it's an on arrival situation. Let's start with the first person who arrives, which on my sheet is Restat Light Miner.
I said there was food?
There is definitely food, but I can't. Why am I not able to drag and drop you? Because I'm on the GM layer and it won't let me drop a player onto the GM layer. That's the problem. All right. You are a dwarf. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I'm putting your first name on your token. And let's see. You do have vision. And I believe as a dwarf, you should have 60 feet of night vision. Can you now see the screen?
I'm trying to scroll around and see. I see me, but I don't see anything else.
Can you see?
Oh, there it goes.
Try reloading.
Yes.
It may require. Oh, okay. Maybe you need to move a square or something, but you should now have one of the mini servants.
Now that I do.
One of the servants escorts you in. There are several servants moving around the room serving hors d'oeuvres. They are quite complicated, and they're a lot of deviled eggs things. A lot of mini processed foods in the location you're in here. As you can see by the room, it is also an ancient altar, but it is currently not running. Those cog work are not moving. As people pack in, a few of the citizens move to sit on those cogs. And there's a guy here in the corner holding court with some citizens. Next on my list is Sebastian. So Sebastian is brought in and announced by let's see, your vision's there. You are human, so you don't have night vision.
Has 30 feet dark vision.
Oh, do you? Oh,
Yeah,
that's right, because you're the
and that's as
oracle.
far as I can see.
Because that's as far as you can see. Can I restrict your vision? Yes, limit field of vision to 30 feet. Wait,
You can see it.
Degrees, or did it? Yeah, it shouldn't
I've got
code it.
home,
It should be. My lit field of vision won't let me do. Well, now your vision is. Oh, there we go. Why won't it let me limit you to 30 feet of vision? It used to let me do that all the time.
Oh, we'll worry about it later. We'll say that we're describing the world beyond that. Watch out for that cog over there.
Maybe it's in my advanced settings. No. Yeah, I'll have to look that up later. There used to be a simple thing for me to do that for, and they've changed their lighting system. Briscoe is coming in. Drop Briscoe. Do you have any dark vision?
I do not.
Okay. You all just happen to arrive around about the same time as they're filling up the various rooms and chambers. You're passing through the ballroom, which is not set up for a ball, it's more set up for small dining. Cliques of different nobles are everywhere. There's multiple rooms off of this larger kind of worship hall. This is one of the back antechambers, probably where the clerics of Cog actually did a lot of their engineering. Next, we've got Jaden Hood being brought in. Jaden Hood is brought in. You're on a little palanquin, aren't you? Or are you mobile yourself? Okay.
He's tiny, so it'd be funny seeing him on a palanquin.
Or actually a pillow carried by one person. When you enter, there's definite stares and gops from some of the citizens. They are shocked to see a dragon here. It's very possible you're the only dragon who's ever been brought to the Antium for the designated survivor. It honestly makes a few of them a little nervous. Like, why is there a dragon here? What does the king know that we don't? Next, we've got Lydia and Relidia, who also have 60 feet or 30 feet dark vision. So just duplicate this one and change the name.
Move them up anywhere in the room I want.
You should be able to here in a second, but let me finish renaming this one.
Okay.
What is it? Got it. I see it on the sheet. So you should be able to move about the room as you see fit. And Simon.
As Simon comes in, he says to the person escorting him, "If you announce my name, I'm going to shove a hors d'oeuvre up your arse so far it'll come out your eye socket."
Give me an intimidation check. Because this guy's under orders.
Okay.
Let's see if you can outweigh his.
He does have the negative charisma. I think it's not working properly when it comes to this guy and intimidate. You'll see why in a moment.
There's a skill or a feat you can pick up called intimidating prowess, where you get to use your strength instead.
Not much.
Oh, okay. So what happens here? He just simply doesn't understand you through your accent, and he says, "Sorry." He announces you, and then says, "I'm sorry, sir, I didn't catch that."
So Simon picks up an hors d'oeuvre from one of the plates and actually rams it in the guy's back.
So one with the little sword in it.
Yeah. I said I was going to ram this up your ass if you announced me. Get out of my face.
Please.
Shoves him aside and walks in.
All right, and then last, do you have any dark vision I need to put on?
Jaden is wondering what that would do for the taste they observed.
And no sight, by the way, but that's okay. He's only got a candle in his helmet, so it's not too much.
You should be able to see on the map. You just don't have any dark vision.
That's true.
Okay, and you can see the map?
I can see darkness. I do have dark vision, but not in the way that you mean.
Oh, you know what the problem is? I need to probably turn daylight mode on. There we go.
Oh my God, there's so many people. Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, I see now too.
Yes, that was an issue.
I'm still blind.
Well, that's because I have not quite brought you on yet. Because next is Kari. Does Kari have any dark vision? Why is it not
60
dropping? No?
Yes. Dark vision 60 feet.
60 feet, okay. And this way I can just use these tokens forever. There are several other minor nobles in the room. No one of high importance, but if anyone is actually trained in the knowledge nobility check, now is a great time to give me a quick. Fantastic rules. Okay, you're shocked to see Sebastian and Kari. You're shocked to see this guy here. Let me move him to the front because this Sir or Dame here is. Yeah, no, that's not the token I wanted to do. I'm trying to change his name real quick. Survey it. Survey it is so really you're chatting with him. Did you pass the check? No, okay. But Survey it is the son of a local sheriff. He was recently knighted after a grand showing in a fencing contest, and you're honestly quite surprised to see him here because typically people who have been nobles less than a year aren't in attendance. They're not allowed to attend either function. So to see him here is definitely strange.
I'm just filling the room.
Feel free to find a place to sit. You'll be expected to stay here until dawn. You'll see that there are some soldiers here at the front. They're here both to keep you here and to protect you in case of problems. They're standing at attention, much like beefeaters, not really responding to anything, although they may chat if you try to do something they're supposed to stop you from doing. Like leaving. The servants have a combination of wine, brandy, whiskey, or a kind of a vodka made out of a vegetable called barrel, which is a halfway step between potato and corn. It's like corn if inside of each one was potato. It's really good for making mashed liquor, and it grows almost anywhere.
So Simon, by the way, he looks around for the only person that probably knows how to hold their liquor. Oh, there's a dwarf. Good. Kind of mosleys over to the dwarf and sits down without introduction or anything and grabs like a bottle of everything that he can see and slams it down there and starts drinking. Just grunts at the dwarf.
Cocktails, I see.
Lydia is going to go over here to Simon and introduce herself. Hello, I'm Lydia.
Bug off, I don't care. And he just keeps drinking. I'm sorry, this is the guy, right, with the 4 charisma.
Look, you Joseph Campbell MFer, I am refusing this call.
Nothing against you, sir. It's just 4 charisma. Bug off, I don't care.
You know what? Let me talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
Actually, I do need to talk about my car's extended warranty. I have a problem with the left wheel. I really need some work done on it because it keeps falling off.
So you're not going to offer a lady a drink?
He shoves one of the whiskeys over to her.
I see no woman here.
Let's see. This servant.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's better. He shoves one of the whiskeys over to the dwarf.
One of the servants comes over to attend to the group's needs. Why is this not? There we go. He is silent, but carrying a small tray of cheeses and rolled meats, as well as several secondary bottles of booze in basically a wine holster on his back.
Yeah, he takes the holster. Just takes the holster off the guy's back and says, all right, get lost.
He does flutters back over to these guys. Actually, he flutters out of the room, and then a few moments later flutters back with more food.
Why don't you dismiss him?
Because I'll go get more. Because I'll go get more.
Lydia saw Jaden, and so she had to go over there to, she's never seen such a tiny dragon. And she wants to pet him.
It's so cute.
It is. He's cute.
Jaden definitely flies up higher in the sky to out of range, clinging to.
There are definitely chains and pipework at the top of the ceiling that you could easily sit on.
He's definitely hiding up there.
Now Lydia's feelings are kind of hurt.
I'm going to mark in the blue that you're 60 feet up, and I'm going to go ahead and move you, let's say right here. You're 60 feet in the air right there.
I can barely see him now.
And we've got a little wing thing to show that you're not on the ground.
Ooh, us. So yeah.
He should have 60 feet of dark vision.
A chandelier up at the top of the center of the room that's running a good 24 oil or gas lanterns, as well as several oil lanterns around the room, and even a few magical continual lights cast on spots here and there. So the room is fairly well lit, even up at the ceiling. Let's see. Then last but not least, we've got Sebastian, who's Not showing his nameplate. There we go. Boop. So what is Sebastian doing?
Depending on what he sees, he will take a seat.
A couple of good places to sit. There are no actual chairs in the room. Most people who are sitting are choosing to sit on these cogs. You can also sit here along the edge. That's like a large bench.
I read.
Any sense motives? Boop. Let me find them here. My NPCs. What is their sense motive? Or their -1? Let's see how they do. Doesn't look like it looks like what you would expect. Most people here, the servants are all very nervous. There's a few high-ranking nobles here. Who's the highest-ranking noble among you? Isn't one of you Prince?
That is Briscoe.
Briscoe is literally the son of the. Who's your father? Who's your daddy?
It didn't really say. It said it was kind of more of a bastard.
Oh, okay. So you're an actual bastard, maybe.
I know my siblings, but I don't really know my parents in a sense.
So you're not technically in the line for the throne, but you are a bastard of one of the king's either brothers or sisters then. Okay. Or maybe even of the architect king himself, but that guy's old, so I doubt anyone your age is his son. He's in his 2nd century now. And most of his bottom half is mechanical, so that probably isn't there anyway. But the servants are very nervous nonetheless. The evening does go on for several hours as drink is brought in. Sir Vellet holds court with several of the ladies who are in attendance. He's friendly, but a little... He's very insular. He's got these 5 women around him, and he's really only talking to them, and is ignoring everyone else. He's not even taking hors d'oeuvres. The other sirs and dames over here are much more gossipy. They are giving Sir Vellet the side eye. They don't think he should be here. And this sir over here is chatting with some of the local citizenry as well. He's much more friendly and approachable if anybody's curious about goings on. It looks like he might be in the know. Pretty friendly about stuff.
Gossip sounds good to me. See if I can pick up anything interesting.
Let me drop him onto the table. He's very friendly and introduces himself as Mr. Gall. He is he prefers to go by his civilian title of Mr. He doesn't put on airs, and he doesn't make much use of the knighthood his father's father was granted. He is, for the most part, a accountant, a bursar, if you will. He handles money and barristering. He handles law and procedure. He's an assistant to several other noblemen who forced him to come here today because they didn't want to have to be in the Antium. And since he's technically a nobleman, he could represent their cartel. So he's here on behalf of the whiskey cartel. Very literally a cartel for whiskey shipping, importing, since it's not made locally in Bowler. So he's more of a foreign shipper. His accent is definitely not Bowlerfifian. Bolinaran? His accent is definitely not Bolinaran, but he's ecstatic to meet anyone new. He kisses both Lydia and Kari's hand as a matter of recourse. Are either of you trained in knowledge local or knowledge nobility?
I have knowledge nobility.
Give me a knowledge nobility, either Lydia or Kari.
Trained, but I'd have to have a rank in it, right?
On knowledge skills, you're able, if you're not trained, you can still attempt them. But the highest roll you can get is a 10, which is enough to know local customs of other places, but not enough to identify major characters, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But Kari, you definitely recognize Lydia. Lydia, you do not. You recognize this custom as Artanese. He's from the continent of Artuan, which is very far away. It's at least a 4-month voyage via steamship. It's effectively being from Australia, and he is now currently in South America. But he is happy to meet you both. If you'd like to join us, we were just discussing the current war on the Artuan southern borders. It's the free companies are making a mess of it, I tell you.
I want to ask him if during his travels, if he's ever run into any... If he's met a lot of people from Hoderheim.
I'm sure I've met a few. I've met people from everywhere. I've never been to Hoderheim myself, but I believe one of my deputies, one of my subbursars, his mother is from Hoderheim, I believe. Pale complexion, that people, yes? They don't take to tanning very well.
I'm from Oholderheim, and I'd love to meet her someday. You'll have to introduce me.
Oh, I don't even know if she's alive anymore, but I'll certainly make introductions if the opportunity arises.
Thank you.
As you guys are all discussing things, talking, or in the case of Simon and Rastat in the corner drinking, another guard comes in, whispers something to the guards, and they immediately rush out.
Bloody hell. Somebody
Except
must have
for
farted on the damn king's mead.
to the GM's lair. Several more servants come in, as well as a good half dozen more citizens get packed in here as the night goes on. This place just fills up to the brim. No new nobles get brought in, though. At this point, it's all people who have managed to literally earn a ticket. So there's a variety of ways a person can earn a ticket to an event like this. Mostly it involves being given permission by your noble to represent his house in some official capacity. But everyone wants to be here for nothing else than the food. It's just fantastic to be able to get food that's good.
While this hacking process is happening, as I think we've established, Simon is pretty sharp. He's been paying attention to all this. He'll grab one of the services they want to pass. Where'd the guards go?
Sir, I'm not privy to that information. I just know that they're.
Oh,
I'm sure they're doing
find
their
out.
duty.
Go find out.
If you want to give me so you can gather information with a diplomacy check. You can try and intimidate it out of him, or you can attempt to bluff it out of him.
The guy that I shoved the hors d'oeuvre up his backside earlier.
No, sir, I don't. Give me that intimidate check. The DC to intimidate these guys is a 10, so it's not.
I'm gonna fail it.
It's
I'm
not
telling you,
exactly
this-
difficult to intimidate a servant, but it can be difficult for you. No, it's not.
Sometimes even Simon's gonna roll well.
Sometimes you roll in. He stops for a second and says, and looks around and says, "Sir, they're having to treat the poor man for tetanus."
Do you want it too? Go find out.
Look, I shouldn't tell you anything. It's bad form, but there has been word that there has been an incident. We don't know what it is any more than anyone else. Even the runner was uncertain, but several of the guards were recalled. We're down to just a staff of 4 or 5 in the main hall, so please keep that under your hat. We don't want to start a panic.
How many more of those stupid little swords have you got there, Bigot?
As many as they got hors d'oeuvres.
He's got a tray that literally has 24 different hors d'oeuvres, all with these little iron silvery swords in them. And as you say that, he lets his hand drift away and out of your reach, just in case.
Well, that's okay. I was just, wondering how he come across to that bluff so well.
Get lost.
He is happy to get lost. He goes
So,
to the other side of the room, starts.
So we've been spending several hours now. Have we actually exchanged more than grunts? Looking at the door. He gives the door a significant look. What the bloody hell's going on now?
Well, we have exchanged a few bottles and a few runs.
More bottles
Maybe
than words, which makes you the best of friends.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is not good.
Don't take a drink without clinking the bottom.
This is not good.
Well, I say we stay on this bed until it jumps off. We're
Yeah.
close to the door.
Have you seen anybody else in this dump that looks like they can handle the sword? Looks around the room.
Look, people can't handle their hats. And you note he doesn't have one.
That's when Briscoe walks up and literally lays his revolver down. Maybe not a sword, but definitely know how to use this.
So I know you haven't said there are any stools, but this would be the scene. So Simon leans back and
There can be
shoves.
stools.
Okay, shoves the stool that's been empty this whole time because you're Simon, and shoves it away from the table and says,
Yeah.
"Here, have a seat."
He doesn't sit down. He literally just props his leg up and leans on his knee.
What the hell's the matter with your knee? Do you want me to kiss it?
He picks the revolver up, twirls around, sticks it back in. No, it just makes it easier to do that. Puts his leg down, sits on the stool.
He actually gets a laugh out of Simon. Good. So we're ready to kill something when it walks in that door. Just keep an eye out.
The most dangerous thing walks through that door. Several musicians.
God.
Oh, no, wait. I need to use a different circle for them because they're not player characters.
We had it right the first time. Giant musicians walk through the door and we're all screaming. It's
No!
That guy being attacked by a spider, or is that a bag?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that thing shows up. Oh my God.
Run! It has a
The loot alone.
No, 4 musicians come in, all with hand instruments, playing their music, and make their way over here to the side. Let's see, where can they actually be? Oh, they're right next to you guys, because that's... Oh, no, here we go. They're over by this guy. They settle in this corner, and they are playing a soft dancing music, but several people in the room do start to dance. Oh, fantastic. So they may actually...
They're dancing together.
They might even lead the whole group then in some of the, like, group dancing, that the box dances and so forth. Yeah, it's very popular here. And the second they do, several of these citizens who know what you're doing join in. Mr. Gall asks one of the ladies he's been hanging out with to dance, and he definitely knows his way around cutting a rug. And at least one nobleman joins in because he's not a fuddy-duddy.
I don't know why the hell they call that square dancing, because by the time those drunk fools get up and start stumbling all over each other's feet, it looks more like a ragged line of... Oh, you see, one of them fell over.
They get off of that cog space. I'm going to move you if that's okay, so that you guys can use the whole cog space to do your dancing.
Mr. Gall is a rather good dancer.
He's very good, but give me your dance. Let's see how good you guys are with that fashion dance.
Okay, hold on. Let me find my skills.
Or perform. Maybe it's perform.
Yeah.
It's supposedly that new age stuff.
Industrial, I believe it's called.
Not all that great a role, but
certainly not
heavy
bad,
metal and
you're
steampunk. There you go.
Passable.
yeah.
You keep the moves. Mr. Gall knows his way around it. The sir that joins you is very good. But while they play for a good another half hour with the dancing and more food and drink and revelry.
The distraction going, but I'm still worried about what's going on out there.
When the ground begins to shake and there's a lurching as the entire room tilts, not much, like 5 degrees, just a little. Just a little off. Does anyone have dungeoneering?
No, 6 survey it on it. He's a surveyor. 6 survey it on it.
Survey it. Does anyone have... Okay, untrained, so 10 is your maximum.
Hell, that didn't work.
Too much risky there, dwarf.
Yeah.
Don't mind him. He's drunk.
He's had enough booze that the room gets off tilted, and I thought they'd never get tilted out of the room.
I know.
I guess it's finally starting to work.
It's finally
Let's wait for the cogs to start turning. Then it's going to get better.
At which point, a Cervellet says to the citizens that are with him, and speaks around the room. Let me get this set up real quick. I had to find my overlays and go to the right layer. Nope, that's dynamic lighting. Let me get my overlay to the maximum so I can see who it is.
Since we are now beginning to get in, I'm going to go ahead and share this so for the purposes of the recording. Let's see, window. All right.
Any more to do? No, I don't think so. So then I highlight. Oh, no. GM layer. Now that should have worked.
I see a lot of people that popped up.
Great. Yes, that did work. That guy should not have popped up, though. He wasn't there. Perfect. All right. Cervellet takes off his hat, and when he does, his appearance shifts dramatically. What's the control? Alt S. What is it? Where to show a picture? Roll 20. Show.
All the girls changed.
Those were all multiple genders. I was using one token to represent multiple genders.
Yeah.
But Cervellet's image changes to this man, a completely different human being, as do several of the citizens around the room and a couple of the servants. If anyone has knowledge local, now is a good time to give me a knowledge local check to see if you recognize him or these men who they all pull clubs off their belt, which you couldn't see before. Ooh, Briscoe, you recognize this man. He is named Tavish Pipebreaker Cordreen. He is the leader of a local gang in Bowler Fife called the Pipebreakers. They're basically an extortion gang. With a 21, you get 2 questions about this man.
How big is his organization?
His organization is fairly large, or I should say influential, if not large. He knows where to break pipes where people really can't stop him, so it's easier to just pay him the extortion because he will affect your business. So he's got a widespread influence, but not a lot of men under his command exactly. Most people wouldn't know him by his face.
You answered my second question I was going to ask. So cool, perfect. So Briscoe turns and looks and goes, "It's that guy."
He says to his men, that was the signal, lads. Get to it." And they start to fan out around the room, pulling out bags and telling everyone to remove their jewelry and put them into the bags.
So, well, Simon sees this happening,
taking the instruments.
eyes his 2 drinking companions, and just continues to drink. He doesn't care whether some nobles get stolen from.
I've got this signet ring. It won't come off.
Oh, they'll take your finger then. Yeah, he'll care about that if it comes to it.
Yeah.
But that's his reaction. We'll see what the other PCs do, huh?
Briscoe
I have
actually.
three of the dwarf. I'll get rid of that.
Nobody is stealing anything from me. I've been the victim of thievery before, and
The music has stopped, and there are 2 approaching the dancers. They've got a bag in one hand and a club in the other, and they're telling everyone to take off their jewelry, take off your holy symbols, anything that's got even the slightest hint of silver or gold. They're telling, take it off or get the club.
So Briscoe's actually.
I'm advising the one in front of me and in front of Relidia not to even try to take anything from anybody around me.
Give me an intimidation check if you want to try and intimidate him down, because he's gonna respond to that by smacking you with the club, or trying to at least.
Intimidate.
So that didn't intimidate him, so he's gonna try and hit you with that club.
All right.
And then after that, we'll go into initiatives, and we'll see how, because combat's happening. Get my attack here. I do not believe a 7 is going to hit your AC. He attempts to hit you and misses hilariously. And let's go into initiative order. So the easy way to roll initiative on Roll20 is to select your token and then open your sheet. And on the core tab, you can roll your initiative there. I'm going to have... Normally, I have all of the characters roll their initiative and go on their initiative. However, with this many NPCs and this many players, I'm going to have the NPCs go separate or go on one initiative.
I'm imagining Relidia did a fancy dance twirl to dodge that club and make him look like a fool.
Definitely, yeah. Ignore the guy at the bottom. There's a thug in the bottom right there next to the Patreon logo. I'm using him just as an initiative token. That way I can delete other guys as they get hurt and so forth. So ignore him. He does not exist. I'll X him out. Has everyone rolled initiative? Everyone on there? All right. Sebastian, you just seen a thug attempt to crack the head of one of those nice dancing ladies.
I'm going to approach within 25 feet of it, and I'm going to mumble a word.
There's a...
And
let's see, you're right here. So he's only 15 feet away from you right now. So you're going to make him attack his buddy.
I'm making him attack his buddy.
So he is making a will save. Okay, now normally this would provoke an attack of opportunity from the thug that's right here. However, that thug is not acted yet, so he doesn't get it. And your DC is 16. He got a 15, so he has failed it. I'm going to just put a little dot on him so that I remember he's doing something. Oops, wrong guy.
He's going to take a 5 foot step away from anybody who's around him. I can't see.
You should be able to see something.
I see nothing.
Oh, let me solve that problem. That means you don't have sight, and you should.
No, he's mine.
How about now?
I can see.
Okay, so this is not a green dot. It was this guy who you green dotted. Sorry, now I know why you were like, I approached within 15 feet. If you can't see the C, let me know. I needed to fix that. All right, so you murderous commanded this guy, the one who just tried to hit her. There's another thug behind you who's quite taken surprised by this. Rastat, there too. Cool.
Yeah, and then I am done, I suppose.
So for the record, those of you who may not know the system, on your turn, you have a move action, a standard action, as well as several free actions. I like to limit them. I don't want you to take too many of them, but you're technically allowed to take multiples, as well as free action or a swift action. A swift action is not something that you're going to have by default. Powers, spells, other things will tell you it's a swift action. So if you've got something that says you've got a swift action, you can only take one of those on your turn. But everyone gets a move and a standard. Most attacks and spells are standards, and then moves are movements. And you can always trade your standard for a second movement if you want to move farther. And moving 5 feet is a free action as long as you don't do any other movement. It's called a 5-foot step.
I kind of nudge Peg over there and we'll cover the door. They can't seem like they left that open.
He looks at the door, looks where they came out, and goes, "They're probably going to go back through the hole they just made."
Something tells me we probably need to be a little closer to what's going on that way. So interesting. So I'm going to head toward the door. That's about all.
You head over there?
Yeah.
All right. Lydia.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't assume, right?
Definitely going to.
You also need to roll an initiative for Lydia, don't you?
Oh, I thought they went on the same time. Okay, let me roll initiative for.
Yeah. I'll throw her into a bright spot. Normally, I'm going to keep you guys separated, and only one of you will be present at a time in the interest of fairness. But in this moment, let's just use them both because they're both here. But don't forget to select. You got to select a token. My house rule is if you don't select the token and it doesn't get onto the chart, it's like the dice going off the table. It doesn't count.
Okay, so which one was I rolling for?
Lydia.
Because I think I just replaced Lydia's.
Yeah, you did. You need to
Lydia
select.
had a 19.
Yeah. You need to front these.
So now let me do Lydia. It's going to take a second for me to learn how to do.
No worries. I'll move hers back to a 19.
Yeah. She was 19. So now I select the token, then I select.
Go to your character sheet and just roll initiative.
Then I go to my character sheet and roll initiative.
Yes, sir. There we go. And we're going to put her right there. Boop. All right. So Relidia it's Relidia's turn.
Okay, she was the one that was going to attack anyway.
Yes.
So now I've got to select Relidia.
No, you don't have to select the token to make rolls. Only initiatives require you to select the token.
Okay.
From here on out, you can just use the sheet.
Okay.
Oh, I was mentioning before, things that I don't require you to have on your sheet. It's helpful if you write down what gear you have, because I'm not going to remember. I run 5 games a week. I won't remember what each character in all my games is carrying, especially since we only play this one month to month. But things like your spells, if you memorize spells, you don't have to put that on your sheet every time. You can note that stuff down. If you're cheating at this game, we have bigger problems than you cheating at this game. All right, Relidia, unfortunately, I believe that will miss. Their armor class is a 12 because they are wearing leathers. So that unfortunately did not connect.
Right.
Kari, there appears to be a bit of a scuffle with the thieves over here.
Okay, so I've got a couple of thieves up here.
Unfortunately, that one also does not connect. Everyone has been drinking, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Jaden, you are up in the rafters looking down, and it appears that these 2 brigands have moved over to the musicians and are stripping them of their instruments and anything else valuable.
Jaden doesn't like that. So he's going to drop down and use a breath cone. I think that should cause I think I'm allowed to do this. I'm going to draw it for you. I think it goes out 5, then 10, and then 15, 3.
That's correct. And now you'll also hit, so a cone. Actually, do I have a little templates? I used to have templates.
Yeah, I thought from Pathfinder, one of the options was to go straight across in front of me and off to the left.
There, yes, but not quite like that. It's actually, let me get the cones for you. I think I've got some.
Because he wants to hit the 2 in front of the bards and try to get pipe breaker.
There's a lot easier way to do this. Because you're in the air, a 15-foot cone can also hit a 15-foot radius if you fly above them. So if you want to fly to here and just breathe your cone down, you'll hit only those 3.
Perfect. Let's do that.
So you want to move to this square, and yeah, that will mean you move to 15. 15. You're now 15 feet in the air.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Breath weapon, you can use it again next round. Very nice. And I got 2
What
of
sort
them.
of dragon is Jaden there?
He's a white dragon. So that was a blast of cold.
So this
Yeah,
guy
Diamond's duly
fails.
impressed. Where the hell did the snow machine come from in here?
This
Now,
guy
can a
fails.
breath weapon have sneak attack damage?
It does not get sneak attack damage. No, unfortunately,
I didn't
it
think
doesn't.
so, but I was gonna try.
That guy fails and goes down, and this guy fails and takes some damage. Let's see. He's got that many hit points, and so he just took 6 of them. So he's down to that.
A white dragon or a white dragon?
The non-undead type.
I'm going to take off some last names so he doesn't have a helicopter blade under him. That was very effective. Lydia.
Okay. Lydia can move through the crowd here, right?
Yes, they will let you pass. They're friendly.
Yeah. And she's going to go over here. And she is going to attack the one right above her.
I don't see where you moved. Okay, you move right over there and go for that guy. Sure.
Yeah.
That just missed. And you don't. Oh, no. This guy is technically threatening his buddy, even though he hasn't acted yet because of the murderer's command. So that gives you flank, which puts it at a 13, which takes him down.
All right.
Yeah, she clobbers him over the head with a flail. He just crumples to the floor. Briscoe.
So I finished my whiskey and begrudgingly follow the dwarf that was standing next to me. And I'll actually, just stand next to him and kind of lean on him a sec. Ooh. Let me get my legs back underneath me for a second. I wasn't expecting to fight tonight. I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
All right, Pipe Breaker. Where'd I put his spells? There they are. He, on his round, moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here and casts a spell on the door. It slams shut and locks. Huh? What'd you say? I heard someone say something.
Or Bill.
I'm trying to find where Google Chat went. Oh, there it is. It's in one of my tabs. Haha, that makes more sense.
We're hiding. We're hiding.
I have multiple tabs open. Sorry. Yeah, he moves to here, waves his hand, speaks some words, and you hear these doors ratchet themselves shut, and a emblem of like a script, but it's definitely emblematic of something being smashed, glows briefly on the door. Does anyone here have spellcraft? The skill spellcraft. Let's see. Ristat, Briscoe, Simon, and Jaden all have a clear view of him, and Lydia.
I gotta bother rolling.
Jaden, he definitely just cast Arcane Lock. Yeah, he's stopping anyone from getting in and anyone from getting out.
Perfect.
I
didn't want him to get out anyway.
His dog, this one kind of flees the dragon, moves over to here and readies his weapon to smash the dragon if it comes by. I'm going to do that to show ready. This guy sees you take his buddy down and moves to here to attack you with the club, to attack Lydia with the club. A 6 is going to miss Lydia.
Yep.
Let's see, who else do we got? This guy got his bag open and is demanding Kari give him her jewelry. Wait, did Kari attack anyone? Yeah, you tried to rape him. He said you with the club. Yeah. You guys are fighting. Sorry. Kari, I think a 22 connects for 7 damage. As he cracks you he cracks you across the knee with that wooden club. And then this guy is moving to here to try and do the same to Sebastian. And also rolled a 19 on the die. So Sebastian, the guy walks up behind you out of the corner of your eye. You see him smash you coming at you with the club and hit you right on the shoulder with that club. Dealing 4 points of damage. Do I have any other goons? No more goons left. So at the end of the round, the earth shakes again. There's another great tilting, And I need everyone to give me a DC 5 reflex or acrobatics save, whichever is higher, to stay standing.
Hello. Hello.
I'm not going to worry about the non-combatants, but I will roll for everyone else.
I'm a combatant. I do
the citizenry that I'm not worried. Not going to roll for everyone.
My point is that you just skipped me.
Oh, did I skip you? I'm sorry.
He was bottom of the round.
My bad. Simon is up first before the shaking.
Yeah, they're all rolling, so it's
We'll
all
go.
right.
They know the roll is coming, but let's process this properly.
He sighs, gets up, roots around back there. Yeah, pulls out one of the obsidian great axes, marches over to Pipebreaker, muttering to people to get the hell out of my way.
I picture you doing this like Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So as a free action, he blood rages. And as a swift action, he coats the obsidian in acid. And he takes a swing at Pipebreaker with the obsidian great axe. Overhand.
Just
high.
Bringing it right on down on him. Okay.
And of course, I'm going to roll a 1.
Going to try and split his hat in half.
I don't even know why I bother. Hold on.
Put a bracket. If you do square bracket, double square bracket, and open and close around the elemental.
So 14 points of damage.
If you okay, yeah, just in the future. If
I know the bracket for the thing, yeah.
But that is going to be 14 points of damage. Comes right down on his head and puts him down.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you split his hat right in half.
And he spits on him and then looks over at his buddy who's there waiting for the dragon. Hi.
Oh, you know what? I also forgot this guy who 5 foot steps over to hit his buddy, right? Because of the murder.
Don't I get an attack of opportunity?
It's a 5 foot step for him to move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When Simon does that, Briscoe literally chuckles, split his hat.
Jaden, you actually don't need to make the reflex save because you're in the, which is good because if one always fails, you would have fallen. But everyone else does need to give me a reflex save or fall over.
Okay.
So DC 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. This guy falls over.
Wait, I got to give you one for both of them, right?
Yep.
Okay, I just gave for Lydia. Oh no!
You don't have to. You don't have to target the characters for this. You only have to target. You only have to select the characters for
initiative.
Yeah. If anytime you have to roll for both, we'll just assume Lydia's is the first roll and Relidia's is the second.
Okay. So 14 and 8.
So you guys don't. Nobody. Most people stay on their feet. A few of the citizens do fall over, that sort of thing. Sebastian, your turn again.
Sebastian is going to take a 5 foot step, use a free action to pick up his spear, and he's going to use spear to poke this guy right there.
It is actually not a free action to pick up an item. It is a move action.
Gotcha. All right, that's fine.
You can still do it. You can 5 foot step, move action to draw the spear and make your attack.
All right.
Because the 5 foot's a free.
Okay, so go along with it.
It's that guy for 3. He's still standing, but he ain't happy. What's that?
Done.
We've got our pistolier over here, so I'm going to continue to step out of his way to give him room to work. Where am I? There I am. So now the door is locked. I'm just going to move over to here. Work my way around where the action is. I don't have anything ranged.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All righty. Lydia.
She's trying to get away from her. So she's going to go attack him. They don't care much for thieves. There we are.
It's him for 3. All right. Kari.
Ow, that hurt. I didn't like
Kari.
that. Try to skewer him again.
Yeah, he is a bit of a jerk that way.
Jesus. Okay.
Your dice are not on your side tonight. What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Jaden.
Who got hit the hardest?
Carrie.
So far, Carrie is one of, if not the only person who took a Sebastian took a hit too.
Okay, I can get there. I'm going to come flying in behind to use flanking.
Okay. What's your
And
flight
just
speed?
100.
Fantastic.
And I'm going to drop on them from behind to do 2 claw attacks.
You can only do 1 bite attack if you move. You have to have your full attack without moving to do your full bite, claw, wing thing.
Okay, I'll do just bite then.
Sure. Yeah, bite's usually the good one. With flank, that's going to hit for 9 damage and take him down. You bite him right through the back of that neck. Lydia.
Lydia is going to attack the guy that's directly right beside her, the one that attacked her earlier.
Okay. That's this one.
Yeah.
That takes him down.
She's
Briscoe.
Boy.
Yeah.
So Briscoe's he's gonna walk actually over here. Not Simon goes, really want his hat.
But or more a growl at this point, his blood.
Yeah. Just don't bring that anger toward me.
He's eyeing the guy over there that's standing ready with who was looking at the dragon.
So I'm actually gonna, just because he's close, I'm gonna magic missile this guy over here.
Sure. That never misses. Just roll that damage.
Yep. And he's gonna he literally pulls out his pistol, does a flourish, looks like he fires off.
A little glowing blue bolt flies out from it. So clicking the spell won't work unless you've got the dice for it. Spellcasters in general, guys, there's never a need to click the actual spell to give us the rules like this. It never does what we want it to do. It's only there in case we need to read the text. If you're going to use magic missile a lot, I suggest either making an attack or just getting used to, typing out roll 1d4 + 1. Or you can put it in the text of this at the bottom or something, so that or at the top, so we actually do get the roll for it. Because I understand it is more fun to actually click the button.
Oh, why did I do that?
Double bracket.
I'm just gonna roll D4. All right, 3 damage.
3 damage. 3 damage takes him down because he has 2 hit points remaining.
Cool.
Wait, it was this one here.
He literally, spins it, puts it back in his holster.
Just poof.
He's
Pipe breaker is down. The thugs. This one is on the ground. He he stands up and looks around confused.
Showmanship and liked it.
This one's 5-footing in on Sebastian because he's still not quite realized that it's over for them. And Mrs. Sebastian. Simon. You got brain and blood on X.
So he comes out of blood rage. It's a round by round thing, so I gotta use it sparingly.
Yes, but if you stop, you become exhausted.
Okay, I'll stop.
Okay. Panting heavily.
He turns it into a growl.
Yeah.
And then turns it over to looks at the one fellow that's left. Are we done yet?
But nothing else?
Oh, he's going to walk over and take a step towards the guy.
There's this guy right here. Yeah, okay.
I know.
Oh, I see. You're talking to him, not your guys. I got you.
No, I don't have any reason to complain about the guy with the magic missile. He did fine.
Sure.
No, no, it's this fella here with the club. Are we done yet? Because I do actually want to ask him some questions, or let somebody else ask the questions. I want to go back drinking.
Sure. Sebastian.
I tell this gentleman to read the room. And evidently he did not understand me when I said, read the room. Sebastian's going to see what the guy does.
All right, we're start. Oh, I'm sorry. End of round. I forgot before Sebastian, but end of round, everyone needs to give me another. This one is a DC 10 check. As the room, you hear the screeching of steel and metal. Part of the room torques. And basically this half of the room tilts 20 degrees this way, and this half of the room tilts 15 degrees that way. As they start to twist apart, the tiling on the floor starts to buckle, and everything starts to shift, and I need reflex saves or go prone and actually get slid. Boop, boop, boop. So far, so good. I got 2 of these guys. They both pass. So all of you guys stay on your feet, but all of the NPCs go 10 feet this way, spilling into each other, hitting each other. Your glasses break. Just everyone gets shifted. He'll stop there at the dwarf. He stops there, bumps into Rastat. He bumps into you. This guy shifts here. And then everyone at the top goes the other way as they all just get knocked to the sides. Some fall, some don't. This guy stays still. Oh, that guy actually stayed still. All right. Relidia.
Okay, let's see. Relidia is going to move up here. Where's about right there? And she's going to attack that one with the club.
That takes him down. Kari.
And then...
Oh, sorry. And then...
Oh, never mind. Nothing.
Okay.
I was supposed to do Lydia. The two characters.
And I'm going to say this one here, it's still there. I would drop that club before he drops that axe all the way through your soul.
Oh yeah, he grinned at that.
Jaden. He definitely looks shaken by that.
There's only one thug left. Is that right?
Yes.
I think Jaden just flies over to the corner with the bards and says, "Are y'all okay? Did you get your instruments?"
They've still got them. They didn't even get a chance to fork them over. Or at the very least, any of them that did, they're still in the room.
And he just takes up posts there, floating in the air a little bit, hovering.
Okay, they've fallen and they're starting to restand as the ground is getting shaken underneath them. Lydia.
Okay, Lydia is thinking that we need at least one of these guys to question. So she is going to go over here. And this may be a waste, but I'm going to use it anyway. Hold on just a second. I've got to declare this before my attack. I'm going to use my Touch of Serenity feat. Do you need me to put the...
No, I can. I found it. I can read it.
Okay, and then she's going to do the attack.
So it needs to make a will save. He failed, I suspect, because your DC, I assume you have what's your wisdom modifier?
Wisdom modifier. I think it was a +1. Hold on. Let me.
Because you linked Angel Flesh, not Touch of Serenity.
Oh, sorry. You looked up Touch of Serenity, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got it
Okay.
here. The
So I
DC
don't
is 10 plus half your level plus your wisdom modifier. So it's 10 plus your wisdom modifier right now. I assume you have at least a +2, but let's find out.
No, I've got a +1.
So he passed it. He is not made serene.
Oh, okay. It was worth a try.
Oh, don't worry, he's already pissed his pants. I think we got him.
Yeah, he is intimidated. Briscoe. At this point, it's just a formality because technically everyone gets to go before him.
So I literally grabbed Pipe Breaker's busted hat, put my coat, check and see if he had any notes, maps, anything, because that's all I'm looking for. Because
So you're gonna search his body.
Yeah, I'm searching for something that may help understand what's going on.
He doesn't have any like letters or anything like that on him. However, he does have a. So the hat, while split, isn't ruined. It's damaged, and that hat is a very fine hat. It can be repaired, and it might even. You're not sure if it's magical, not until you check it, but it could be. It's got all the qualities that might make it magical. In addition, he has a sword cane. He was carrying a sword cane. But other than that, his pockets simply have a coin purse and a wax seal that the pipe fitters use as their kind of secret emblem. Or pipe breakers.
I'll take all that, and I'll actually put the sword cane from me, lean on it, just make sure the hat's still there. I'm planning on getting that fixed as I watch Simon do his work.
Down, I can take him off that list. The last pipe breaker thud drops his club, and says,
Might give up.
"Yeah, I don't want it that bad."
Simon, last on the list here, would just nod, look up at Lydia with a look of, "You deal with this, punk." And then heads back over to the wall and sits down and continues drinking, waiting for the next shimmer.
The next shutter comes, and it feels like you guys drop about 5 feet. Everyone needs to give me an acrobatics check.
This time,
It's
acrobatic.
not a reflex check. Falling is an acrobatics check.
Gotcha.
It's a DC 5 or fall prone and take a D6 points of damage. So Simon and Lydia and Relidia all fall prone and take 2 points of damage from that fall as everything kind of smashes into the, feels like it just fell 10 feet. Or 5 to 10 feet. It's hard to tell.
See, now would I take 4 damage on my character sheet or 2?
It's 2 damage because that's what I rolled. You rolled a 4 for the check. What you should do is instead of tracking damage on the character sheet, go ahead and click the token. And you see all the 3 circles. Just track the damage in the red circle. That way you can track their damage separately. It's much easier to track it there. And those circles that are on your token are real easy. I'll do it in the green to show you. I just put a 8 into Lydia's green, and if I highlight it, I can literally go -3, enter, and it'll subtract 3. So it's a really great way to track your damage.
Okay, so they do have separate
Yeah,
damage.
of course. Yeah. They just use the same character sheet.
Okay.
They're different people.
Are you using the?
Okay,
They don't have like
I thought you
a mystic
thought
connection.
they shared their hit
No.
points.
Are you using blue for AC?
I'm not using blue. I'm not using anything I use blue for usually elevation, and then typically green. I use blue for elevation on everyone just so that we've got that tracked, which means none of you guys get to use it. But green typically is good to use for a resource. So those of you with grit or something similar, that's a good one to put in there. And then red is usually for the hit points.
I wanted to say Simon went to go sit down in his chair and it dropped 5 feet below what he was expecting.
I was drunk. I should have some sort of bonus from landing like that. But anyway, yes, I do indeed drop and just go. Hey, good time for a nap.
At this point, though, a few more moments pass. This guy is definitely surrendered. The others are either unconscious or bleeding out. Everyone starts to stand and get their bearings as there's a few more shutters, but everything seems to have, like there's a point where things kind of slide just a little bit, and then they come to everything feels like it comes to a stop.
Sebastian will circle the room doing casting stabilize, and he will heal himself.
One of the servants, while you're doing that, goes to the door and can't get them to open. He's pulling and rattling them, and they won't do it.
Jade will call out, he arcade locked that.
So you're doing some healing. Who are you healing, and how much for?
How much is a cure light wounds heal?
A cure light wounds heals a D8 plus your level, maximum of bonus of 5. So D8 plus 1 is level. Who's that going to?
He's down 4.
Oh, he's healing himself. Okay.
Who was it that took 10 earlier?
I was jamming out.
That's right.
Oh, that didn't work. Let me try something else.
Yeah, there you go. 8. That heals it all. That heals 9 points of damage.
Excellent.
I took 7 early.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Go
I'm
talk to
not dead
Quarry
yet.
there. Good, happy.
Nice. And then you heal Kari for well, it's not +5, it's your level 1. So it's that's going to be 8 damage healed, though. That's pretty good. Heals. Is that for Kari?
Yes, whoever's next in line.
Well, he had a couple of us
Okay,
take
bring
like
me to
2
full.
points in the falling damage, but if you come over to like Simon and try to heal him as he get lost.
He's healed himself, and he's healed Kari, and
The girls have 2 points each, but they can handle it. They don't.
They're not complaining about it.
Yeah, they've got 9 each right now.
So what's wrong with the door?
Jaden will call out again. It's arcane locked.
How do you fix that?
This thug says whenever he does that, it doesn't open.
So what's the material of the door and the frame around it and the walls?
They all appear to be made of iron or steel.
Okay. It's probably not going to open.
This room was definitely used by cultists of a god of iron and cog.
Briscoe kind of taps a sword can on the ground. So I might have a suggestion. There is a large hole up.
No, there's not. There's no large hole.
But there was an explosion earlier to kick all this off, but it wasn't in here.
You did hear an explosion, but there wasn't a hole. He took off his hat and put it back on, and when he took off his hat, he and his men, they all did that and changed their appearance.
Check if I'm assuming the body's still there. Check any of them for something explosive. They're called pipe breakers for a reason.
Each of the pipe breakers, if you search their bodies, they have a very nice jaunty Kangol cap, as well as each of them has a D6 gold on them, all in silver pieces. I'll just do a D60, 1D60 silver pieces. If you actually care about the money, most of you are too rich to care about that amount of cash, but they've all got some silver on them, that sort of thing. But none of them are carrying explosives. The best they have is a few of them have metal pipes that they were using as clubs.
Somebody want to talk to the goon about what this plan
Yeah,
was?
I'm right there next to him. I'm going to ask him why the door is locked and what is causing, if he knows what's causing the tremors and the dropping.
So now
The
we're
movement
going to
of
use
the
a
floor.
mechanic I like to use that I designed for my brain's shutting down for Stargate. So we're going to use it here because it fits. We're going to do an interrogation. When you interrogate a person, you're trying to get answers from them before they break or harden. Now, when they break or harden, they might tell you everything because you broke them, or they might harden and start lying to you or not giving you useful information. To do that, what you do is you tell me how long you're going to try and interrogate this person for. And the assumption is you're coming at them with questions from multiple angles, right? You're not just asking them one question and getting one answer. You're asking multiple questions in different ways, watching their body language, that sort of thing. It's more of a process than just who does number 2 work for. So tell me how many rounds you want to, or minutes you want to interrogate this guy for.
Number 2 works very well for the Chinese.
So how long do you want to interrogate him? And I'm going to roll secretly how long that.
I'm hoping Jaden's activity will assist in this because he's going to land on the frozen thugs and begin.
Probably about, I guess, 10 rounds.
Just
I don't
like
know.
a rough kind of minute. How long before you? I'm getting into the weeds on
A few minutes.
system. It's basically you do an interval, and you can do multiple checks until you hit the interval, but you get bonuses for the longer you go. There's a mechanic to it, but I don't want to get too deep into the mechanic right now. That's all right. So give me an intimidation or diplomacy or bluff, whichever is best for you.
Okay. Oh, good. I don't even see. Diplomacy is way better.
But you rolled a 1. Jaden, if you want to give me an intimidation check to assist. Nice. Okay.
That's great.
So what is your so you did pass, so you get one answer.
Good paladin,
You get
bad
an answer
dragon.
to what's
There
called
we
a
go.
discrete question. It has to be an answer with a specific a question with a specific answer. That can be yes, no, but it can also be a number. It can be a lot of things. A simple motivation, something that can be answered in a simple sentence, is you've managed to get an answer out of him you feel is trustworthy, that you feel that you have a reasonable sense of the truth. So what is the question you want to get? Why are they here?
Yes, that'd be the first one. Why are you
We
here?
got word the guards would be gone, and that would make easy pickings. Boss got word.
Okay, so now I have to roll for another
Yes.
one.
If you want to question him further and see if he breaks or not, you can try and question him further. How long do you want to try and question him?
I thought we were doing 10 minutes.
You choose how long each time you go into another set of questioning.
Oh, so that one question, it took us 10 minutes.
You get a bonus because you spent 10 minutes on it. It's a per minute bonus. So you ended up getting a plus, it's every 2 minutes, a +8 on it, which brought you to a 19. With Jaden's bonus, that brought you to a 21, which is why you got such a solid answer. Actually, while you're busy doing that 10 minutes of intimidation, these guys might be looking at the door. Let me skip over to them real quick. What do you guys, huh?
Not the door.
You're
looking around. I'm done with the door. The arcane locked. That's enough
The-
for me. Look around this
Okay.
place. Search. Look. Seek.
Give me a perception check. Ooh, 23. You managed to scrounge up the last unbroken bottle.
That's actually his best
Well,
roll.
you find the one unbroken bottle of whiskey in the whole room.
Mine.
Other than that, a bunch of the chapeaux are scattered around, and the bodies of the unconscious guys are sprawled and slid to the sides from the torque twisting and the quaking.
Wait, well, some of them
Some
are
of
still
them are
alive.
alive, and pipebreakers are alive and stable, but unconscious.
Simon fixes
Okay.
that. In clear view of the living one,
Sure.
by the way.
Just
Throw their bodies in the furnace.
it is not currently operating.
We have a
There is a
furnace?
furnace, but it is not hot. It is empty. These furnaces up
Ah.
here are while technically working are furnaces. They're not. There's no fire in them right now.
All right.
So 5 minutes.
Okay, give me another check. And what's the question?
I want to ask him why the ground is shaking and shifting.
He was as surprised about that as you guys were. He knew that there'd be he'd hear an explosion. They knew that was their cue, but he did not expect the ground to shake like that.
Okay.
At this point, several of the servants are over here trying to figure out what's going on with the door. One of the nobles is over here yelling at them. Mr. Gall is looking at it too. He wants out of the room. People are scared. They're starting to huddle together and talk and chat and try and figure out what's going on. Someone told the musicians to start playing, so they do. They'll move to here and start playing quietly. But the rest of the servants are over here. A couple of these guys are just to open the doors, just unlock them. We can't. They're magically locked. There's a lot of discussion happening right now as Pipebreaker's on the ground. Did you want to execute Pipebreaker?
No.
That was the
thought I
question.
already
You
did.
said you were going around killing them all. I didn't know if you wanted to kill Pipebreaker or not. No, if you wanted to, he's gone. No, he was bleeding out on the ground, and you ended that. Okay.
Oh, I see. The 14 didn't get him to
No,
negative
it
10.
didn't get him to neg con, yeah.
Yeah.
But he is.
Yeah. The berserker is done with
Yes,
Pipebreaker.
okay.
So
We know he's there. But yeah, there's quite a bit of confusion going on. Mr. Gall.
Sebastian went around stabilizing them all. And then
Stabilize. Great. They're alive when I kill them. Mr. Gall says, does anyone happen to have lock picks or something similar? Or any experience with cogs and doors? Is there a gearsmith in the house? Does anyone have the disable device skill trained?
no.
I do.
Do you?
Mhm.
Because he says it's possible we can get the doors open around the lock if anyone knows their way around these things.
What does Jaden know about arcane lock?
Did you pass the spellcraft?
I was the one that recognized it. Yeah.
Great. Basically, it's very much an arcane lock. It magically locks a door. However, you can still unlock it if you know how to disable locks. You can also use a knock spell or dispel magic, or you can use disable device to basically take the door off the hinges and otherwise make it non-functional so that the arcane lock won't keep it closed. You could also still batter the door down, although this is a big, heavy iron door, so that might be tough.
I'll just ask the group, do we actually want to open the door at this point? We're in this room for a reason.
You're just not trained. I thought it was. Never mind. Wrong check mark.
I think the dragon's right. But whatever happened out there, we're fine in here until it all burns down.
That logic makes sense to the citizens. Let's just wait for someone to come get us. Yeah. Don't. A couple of the noblemen are like, I want to know what's going on.
In that case, I'm going to continue dancing down here with the musicians.
And I have the last bottle of whiskey, so that gives me some power here. And
it's a nice large bottle too. It's like
I'll share with anyone who shuts the hell up.
This is quiet whiskey. You get it when you're quiet.
First he comes and takes it from your hands quietly.
Damn you. Beat me at my own game there.
So if you guys want to stay here and wait, you can wait a couple hours and no one seems to come and get you. You don't hear anyone on the other side of that door. No one's pounding on it or trying to open it. But the citizens and the nobles who are in attendance will follow your lead. These guys will go over here.
What is Jaden will ask the group again, what is the typical time period of waiting in these rooms?
Dawn is when they typically open the doors, or the whole thing is
Although
over. Sometimes they'll end it. One of the servants says, "Well, we were contracted until dawn, but sometimes they'll free everyone early if the speech and the festivities are ended. But we follow their lead. They'll send people for us when it's over. Typically,
Dawn's still a
Is
ways
it-
off.
it's probably
Yeah.
last guess it was about 1 a.m. Everyone's got pocket watches, right? A couple of the guys pull out their pocket. It's
Yeah.
around 1 a.m.
How offensive! I don't even have
They
pockets.
synchronize swatches.
Do you want to watch around your neck and make a great noose?
Got to get a big clock around your neck, like
It's
Flash.
supposed to be fashion we put around his tail.
Okay. Or how about a watch hat?
Ooh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's hard to tell the time. Well, somebody tell me what time it is. So yes.
Excuse me, can you read the time for me? Have you ever seen that Key and Peele sketch?
Yeah.
We have
Simon to whoever's. I guess the dwarf is there. I'm waiting until the whiskey's out and then I'm out of here.
I
wait
think
long.
Jaden will go ahead and start looking at
Yeah.
the door to start determining what will need to happen to get it open when it's time.
You're going to have to probably remove several key cogs, at which point you might be able to just push it down like a drawbridge.
So probably an hour later or so, I guess the whiskey runs out and the blood rager goes over to the dragon. All right. So what is it going to take?
I believe Jaden
Jaden,
is. It's very easy.
you're going to have no problem getting that bad boy open.
I think you just pull that, twist that, push here. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Just got to pull these 3 cogs out and it'll fall right apart.
So he reaches back behind. No.
Everybody move back from the door.
This one. The great sword. It's the only one that won't break. And just proceeds to start
So you just
wailing on it. Wham! For as long as it takes. It's going to be a while.
You're not going to be able to cut through an iron door with a great sword, but he can
Cut? Who said anything about cut? Talking about dislodging cogs.
Oh, those will just come out. You just got to pull them off, torque them out. But yeah, you can use the sword as a pry bar for that, no problem.
That's right.
Yeah, you're able to. This thing comes right on open, and strangely, the door falls right on down, and daylight.
All right. Look at the watch.
It's around 2 a.m. right now.
It's still
It
2
should be
a.m.
dark out.
Damn, that whiskey was good.
Also, you were underground.
Oh.
Daylight.
Now you are not underground. You are above ground. On the side, the door is facing the side of a hill, so you can't see much, but you see a grassy hill, flowers in full bloom, couple of clouds in the sky. It's actually a nice day, a fair breeze going, and it is the hallway, the dining hall beyond is gone. There's bits of the floor there on the ground where they've been scattered, but there's nothing else there, save for one corpse of a civilian who may have been near that door when whatever this is happened, but it definitely, something fell on him and he's been crushed and he's definitely dead.
Crap. There ain't no more whiskey out here. So he goes back over to the table.
Seeing the daylight, Jaden will look to the bards and say, I guess we kept you late. Thank you for playing. I wish you had bagpipes, but you were still very good. Proceeds outside.
It is indeed a nice hill out on a nice. From the outside, you can see part of the building, some of the cog work and pipes that were around where you were underground. The not sewer system, but pipe system that's underground in the city. Parts of it are there. It looks like your room and parts of the areas around it were just torn out of the city and dropped here. The place you're in has been torqued left and right and is twisted and just sits on that hill. It's shoved into it.
So it looks like it landed here instead of being erupted from the ground.
Yeah, like it maybe even fell right into the hill.
Anything else as far as we can see?
As far as you can see, isn't very far. A human being can see about 20 to 40 miles on a good clear day with standard eyesight. If you climb up the hill, you can see a little further. If the dragon wants to fly up, he can see a lot further and get a good lay of the land.
Do we see any landmarks that we might have seen in the past?
That would be a knowledge geography. I'm going to bring you guys over to this map, show it to you a bit early. And let me find, here's our token for the party. Getting a lay of the land by flying up. Sorry, you can see that you are on this hillside right here, and you're able to see most of the area around. This brown is not, it's not desert, it's flatland, plains with hills. You're right up on one hill, and then the region becomes more mountainous over this way. And you can see all these lakes. It looks very nice, but you do not see any signs of civilization from here. And neither of you passed your knowledge geography, so you're not sure where you are. You do not see any landmarks that you recognize here. Slowly but surely, the nobles and the other civilians come piling out. Everyone is just as confused as you are. Let's see. Can you guys all see the map? Yeah, okay, good. You can. Let me just grab your tokens from this page, so that we've got them all in nice stealable spots.
Well, after a nap, Simon will walk out in the sunlight and look around for anybody that actually put up a fight whenever that pipe rigger fellow was around.
Honestly, it was just you guys. So
all right.
This group here at the top is the people who put up a fight, not counting Mr. Gall, although he is also uncertain of where you are.
If they're not already together, Simon will go to each one and kind of grunt and try to ground them up. All right. Anybody have any idea what the hell's going on?
Yeah, we got launched like a rocket.
I certainly.
Am I supposed to see the other people on my map?
Up top, in the black area at the top of the map, that's where he's put them.
Oh. I don't know how I got way down here.
You got separated already? Oh, no.
Yep.
All right.
That's where we are. It's actually where the.
It doesn't matter where. It doesn't matter where we are. All that matters, and hey, listen, it doesn't matter where we are. All that matters, and then in about 12 hours, these people are going to be goddamn hungry, and they're going to start killing each other for food. So that's what we need to find, right?
Yeah.
Well, Jaden looks into the back with all the thugs to eat. He's like,
"You're fine. You're fine." The dragon, he just, the rest of these guys are too timid to eat that crap. All right. So we're on like a hill.
On a hillside.
Is there woods or something around here to go hunting in? Does anybody even know how to hunt?
Does anyone have survival skills?
As a matter of fact, it's the second best skill.
So give me a survival check.
You would, just because it's a good skill doesn't mean it's a good roll. So does anybody else know how to hunt?
Hunting's easy. You just fly above whatever you want to attack and then drop on it.
Great. Do you see anything to attack to drop on? I know.
He looks at you funny.
We want food, and we're not going to eat that stuff in there. So if you want to help out, go find some.
All right.
He shrugs, flies off.
Now, is there any water around here?
The closest source of water is easily. There's probably you're going to be able to find small water, ponds, streams, but nothing large in the area. But
anybody know anything about
Jaden
purifying water, like boiling it and stuff? Okay, great. Hey, you. Yeah, fancy pants. Come here. Bring those. Points at a few of the citizens and nobles.
Marking them down. You have 14 citizens. I'm sorry, 16 citizens, counting the. I'm just going to roll the servants in with them. You have 16 remaining citizens, 4 musicians, and 3 remaining noblemen. Just putting that info on their tokens real quick so we know how many we got.
Now, as they're moseying over, hopefully.
Everyone's kind of milling about outside trying to figure out what to do.
Hey, would you people, would some of the beautiful people go over and round them up and convince them that they need to go get some water? He's looking at the Lydias and the prince over here and be listened to.
I'll be rounding them up.
Thanks. Because no one's going to listen to me. I'm the guy with a candle on my head, remember? He looks over at the dwarf and, what the hell do you know how to do?
Sebastian, you don't have a problem convincing everyone to find every unbroken bottle and to start heading to a nearby stream following the
same corner where we were. There's plenty of empty bottles.
Yeah, plenty of empty bottles to fill with water. The hard part is finding unbroken ones. but there are
We'll
some.
take the broken one. Just
We have one thug left,
I'm
right?
pretty good at digging holes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at making nice things out of shiny rocks.
So you're like a builder? Am I being like insultingly stereotypical?
I tend to be insulted, stereotyped quite a bit.
I know. Me too. Sorry.
It's okay. But, I started out life as a miner, and now I'm a jewel maker to the stars. But lately, I've just been trying to scrape for scraps and sold about everything I have, hence a no hat.
Great. 4 bards and a thug.
Oh, yeah,
That's
and a
right.
thug.
Briscoe
Partridge in a pear
Briscoe
tree.
will walk over there, and he literally puts one of the pipe breaker's caps on his head. It's like, there. Now you have a hat.
The minute you put that,
You wouldn't give me that top hat, would you? I
the
need to
minute
be
you
taller.
put that hat on his head, his image shifts, and he now looks just like you for a moment.
There. Now you're taller and handsome.
Oh, here we go.
All right, well, that's kind of cool. So it's
Give me a spellcraft check.
So speak.
Those
Yeah,
who might
okay.
be around to see it.
Tis a magic hat.
It is a magic hat. Briscoe, this is a standard it's a standard fashionable hat. You have to be trained for spellcraft to work.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's a standard kind of enchantment people put on hats. Typically, they're used to make your clothes look different. It's an illusion. It'll make them look clean and unsoiled, and you can even adjust their color and style. However, some illicit owners have tampered with the magic to make them change your full appearance. And this one appears to change your appearance into the last one person that the hat touched before you.
It's like Final Fantasy glamour magic.
Similar, yeah.
Well, that ain't a problem yet, but it might be down the road. So gather up them hats and don't let them other people have them.
Will do. Now I can make
There
shadow
are a
clones.
total of 6 hats.
So,
All right, now.
I'll hang on to this one just for the simple fact that it may come in handy. And it may add something to my AC.
It doesn't add anything to your AC, but it's certainly handy to change your appearance.
and
Yeah,
to have a hat.
You can just note
You're
down we
welcome.
have 6 hats
Yeah.
of disguise.
6 hats. This guy.
So having gathered hats, and now we know what the dwarf can do, looks over at Quarrel. So what the hell can you do? We know the dragon can get food. We know them folks can go get water. We know this guy can dig holes.
Might be able to gather wood.
That might work too.
Comes collecting firewood. There's not like a forest around here, but there's certainly trees.
Yeah. So
That's a good start for the shelter thing I was getting around to.
I'll employ myself with that.
Thank you.
The waddles off.
I tend to deal more in interpersonal relationships than.
Oh, great. You're one of the beautiful people that are going to convince them to do stuff for us. Great.
Oh, he's
Stick
an
around.
asshole.
I'm the asshole. This
Yeah.
one's just going to translate. So anyway, let's see who else we got here. Jaden.
You're the asshole. He's the fart knocker. Got it.
And looks over at Pretty Boy with the guns. Yeah. We already know what you're good at, but you're good at anything else aside from slinging that thing around.
Son, shoot things to eat.
You're looking at it. I know a few things. I can do a few things. And I have
Oh.
access to a few things.
You ain't got access to shit here. Talk about what you know. Talk about what you can do.
I take the hat and put it on him, take it back off.
I don't want to look like you, asshole.
Oh my god.
I look fine just by myself.
I thought you
All
said
right.
you're the asshole.
I thought you were
I
giving
am.
him a hat like giving him a Snickers.
I guess you're not you.
He's angry, right? Angry.
You're not
It's
you.
like you're not you, you're me.
Oh no, it's so confusing.
Welcome to your intervention.
So, for Lydia, you two, I'm almost afraid to ask. Yeah, did they? Is that what they wandered off to do? Water? Okay.
Yeah. We rounded up the group of others and we're getting water.
Perfect. That would leave Briscoe and Carl and Sebastian. What's your deal? You go around healing people I'm about to kill? That's not very useful.
Sebastian is He has the knowledge skill local, which should be humanoids and such like that. So he's looking around for anything that would look like any sign of, not necessarily civilization, but pets and things like that.
It would be great if we were still local.
Local means localities. It's knowledge of cultures and different people. If you had knowledge local today, you might know about the running of the bulls, even if you're an American, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, you are in the wilderness right now. Yeah, this is a geography or nature. If you're trained in knowledge nature and you want to know about the surrounding area, you might be able to figure that out. But local is going to be of very little use at the moment.
So you're like a healer type, and everyone else, you don't know where the hell we are, what this is about. Fair enough.
Mac,
All right,
is there a stream nearby? Did you say there was a stream nearby? Or
yeah, there's water source nearby.
Okay, I'm sure we found it.
Small stream. Yeah. Oh,
I
yes.
went for wood for shelter. I may even found a shelter.
Well, Restat, you definitely you're able to figure out immediately is that the hill you're next to has iron. Not only does it have iron, it has magnetized iron in it.
Nice.
And the entire you'd guess looking at this entire area that it's just filled with magnetized metals. If it can be magnetized, it's around here. And you are in you're not certain exactly where, but you are definitely in a plane on the plains somewhere on the southern hemisphere of your planet.
Gotcha.
It is where you left. It was fall and it is spring here. So you have definitely changed hemispheres.
So I'll come back with some firewood. I report this and there says the hill sings funny. It would be very handy with electrical things.
And you had to explain that. And when you do, it's like you get the grunt.
Rocks.
Electricity is a newfangled invention that some people are showing off.
You could pick up a couple of rocks and go, dink, magnets.
Corey, would you go talk to those fancily dressed people that are probably soon going to think they need to be in charge? Because we're going to have to do some convincing. Let's just get it out of the way. I'm talking about Mr. Gall and Surveyet and those people.
Several of you definitely outrank them noble-wise. The sirs and dames are just that. They don't have dames.
Doesn't matter. Get them over here. Let's establish it. Let's establish it now. This is always a problem. I've seen it before. If I have to kill them, I'll kill them. But let's just get them over here and get them on our side so we don't have to do that.
Are you taking charge, Kari?
Briscoe actually, let me talk to them. We're on the same wavelength here.
Great. You go talk to him.
Kari's already over there chatting with him if you want to join her to give me a diplomacy check too. So everyone seems to be pretty calm. Mr. Gall is a little put out. I've got appointments. Certainly they'll send someone to rescue us, yes? They must know where we are.
I don't know. We're months travel away. I don't know how we got here.
And that's what Briscoe's going to be in a very point of fact matter. It's like we are far from home.
Where's everyone else?
Either they're still there or they're dead.
He kind of looks around, gets a bit of a head count, and he says, "There's only so much meat and cheese left to scrounge from inside. We're going to need
finally
to solve
getting
that problem quickly. We might be here a few days, if not longer."
Yeah. So here's the thing. A group of us that kind of know the situation, how to handle said situation, are going to take charge of this. You don't have to worry about your appointments because we're going to make new appointments for you.
And you can reward us later.
I would expect the Architect King to send rescue, but that could take a while.
Until then, you got me. And I got Prince Snape here. Put back on. And my companion here to ensure that you are safe and taken care of. But as a community of survivors, we all have to work together to ensure that happens. I.e., no bitching, no whining, no questioning our motives.
But tipping is allowed.
No ask. No asking for hats, but we will gladly take hats from you.
At that, one of the sirs says, well, "We all need hats. You never know when the skies will open."
And he says, now don't you worry about that. For a hard worker, their work will be recognized. And
What happens if someone doesn't have a hat? That's more of a threat to you than it is to their corpse. Are you sure you should
Does
be in
everyone have a
charge?
hat
This sounds
currently?
crazy.
hey, what'd I say about questioning my motives?
This sounds like suicide is what you're describing.
Who is putting
We
up
have a
the
dissent.
argument?
One of the sirs. Well, you're trying to take away all their
I'm not
hats.
taking hats from you, but if you do not have a hat, you can earn the right to be gifted.
They've all got hats. They're all wearing hats.
Yeah, I
oh,
wasn't
I
gonna
thought
take
you
a
were
hat, so
trying
I'll
to
gladly
collect
take
all
a-
their hats.
I literally said you can't take my hat, but we will gladly take hats
Why
from
would they
you if
take
you
your
want.
hat? Nobody wants to take a hat away from anyone because that's how you get the brainworm, and nobody wants the brainworm.
Oh, good. No one's putting up a fight. Then he puts the great sword
If
away.
you're not trying to collect all their hats. Yeah, I thought you were collecting all their hats. Wait, you're collecting all hats.
Yeah, Briscoe just.
We need those. We don't want to get brainworm.
Yeah.
No one's asking for the pipe breakers hats or anything. No.
But he continues on, just says, as a group of survivors, you're all in this together, and some of you are going to do work that you've never.
Most of the citizens are happy to fall in line. The sirs are a lot. They're not as pleased with it. But what are you going to expect these guys to do? Dig? They don't have tools or the ability.
Oh, I have a use for them.
Any job you give these sirs and these three sirs and dames is just a job you're gonna have to do over.
So basically, all this is, I'm like, congratulations, you passed the first interview exam. Please go over there. Everyone else, please stay here.
A lot of the citizens are off collecting water right now.
Yeah. So basically, for all the nobility, all the sirs and dames and everyone, it's just, what is your profession? Just try and get a guess at what they know.
One of the three sirs and dames, one of them is a aristocrat in that he has no actual profession. He talks to people, runs a business, that sort of thing. He has no real profession of his own. Another one is a high-end watchmaker. He makes very nice watches, really knows his way around tiny clockworks. And the third is a haberdasher.
Okay. So 2 of the 3 are useful. The other, not so much.
He's good at organizing people. He knows how to keep a group of people working.
Perfect. You get to be in charge of the commoners and making sure that they do the work that we need them to do. And any complaints they have, bring them to you, and then you bring them to us. And we'll fix the grievances. Congrats, you're now a manager.
Because you can't
You're
actually
still
do
a
anything.
manager. You've been promoted to where your incompetence can't affect us.
To the clockwork and the haberdashers. Okay, you can do specific things. That may come in handy.
What will the men
Yeah. Fix this guy's head.
do to that damaged hat?
The mend spell will repair it.
I cast mend spell on it.
Takes 10 minutes and mend repairs. It too is when you put it on, it starts to function just like one of the other hats of disguise. Although it has another effect. Give me a spellcraft check.
I did not train spellcraft.
Not only does it operate as a hat of disguise, it also functions as a headband of intelligence +2.
Interesting.
Told you I look good in that hat.
You look smart in that hat.
I feel smart in this hat.
Let me put my thinking hat cap back on.
So who's got the hat?
Who has low
Which
intelligence? What is it? Was it Migs?
Probably Matt's. I got 11. It's not great.
6.
5.
6
Wow,
intelligence.
you have 5?
Yep.
Yeah, that one has 5. This one has 6.
That was my dunk skill.
I give it to them because I doubt Simon will want to take his helmet off. That's his helmet
That's my helmet. That's
with
right.
his candle.
It's got a candle on it.
He has use for it. So I'll give that to them. Give that bonus to them.
There are 2 of them, so only one of them can wear it.
Only
Fight to the death for this hat.
What was the bonus on that?
It's a hat of disguise, but it's also a hat of +2 intelligence, which also gives you intelligence. Items that grant intelligence also come with a skill because you gain skill from wearing it. When you're wearing this hat, it provides disable device as a skill.
All right.
So you get a number of ranks in disable device equal to your level whenever you're wearing the hat.
So basically, fight for who gets a good hat. The lesser twin will get this hat. Fight for me, fight. I'm holding the hats. It's like fight.
They won't fight.
Nephew said something.
I was going to ask a lore question.
Yes.
I'm hoping in this world where for 10,000 years these alien bug things have been coming out, where they're totally used
Everyone
to
is very familiar with them.
commonplace.
Yes.
Are dragon scales impervious to them? So I don't have a hat on the dragon.
They're not impervious per se. You can theoretically still catch them, but it is far less likely.
I was hoping they would be something wormling dragons enjoy eating.
You might eat them, yeah, for certain, but they can also crawl in your ear, which is not good.
With the dragon light to his head?
He can wear a hat. He's got a head.
I'm thinking about when he's flying. If he flew too fast,
He'll
it'd
come
just
right on off, yeah.
blow right out.
He would definitely need one with a strap.
You have to have
thinking
one of
like-
those
Yeah, yeah,
pilot's
exactly.
caps.
He needs a pilot's
I'll
cap.
give him a Viking helmet with horns.
That's
After all this organizing by those guys, I wanted Jaden to return from his scouting and realize that they're dividing up workers, and he's going to claim dibs on the musicians.
Go eat Sir
Beat
Robin's
me to it.
minstrels.
But you were going to eat Sir Robin's minstrels?
I could see that. What else do they have except for morale?
That I wouldn't discount. That's probably going to be useful in the days ahead when these people realize no one's coming to rescue them. That was an admirable pile of bullshit, Prince. I'm still digging my way out of it, gasping for breath.
Oh, you were too kind, and in your opinion, means very little to me.
I'm glad of that. Does it appear that people are getting things done, that they are in fact cooperating and going about the business?
Yeah, they're mostly cooperating. The citizens have gone to collect water and are coming back now. The sun is starting to set. You don't have any food, but everyone is frankly exhausted and ready to sleep anyway.
Jaden, did you
In their
find
mind,
anything?
they've been up all night, and then
That's my next question. Is in my scouting, did I see any sources of
they've
iron?
got firewood from going to chop wood, but there's no source of food that's obvious and large enough to feed you guys right now. There might be somewhere, because despite being able to fly, you're able to check out one hex. Each of these hexes is approximately 12 miles in size. In a day, you're able to explore one hex. You have explored the hex you're currently in. It's got the stream, but it doesn't have anything like a flock of turkeys or anything useful as a source of food for this many people.
Okay.
So people are going to go hungry today, but they did just have large meals, so they're probably not going to start starving right away. Everyone here was drunk and full and exhausted and hurt and tired, and the sun is setting. You're able to start lighting fires inside what's left of that room that can serve as shelter, and you've got the furnaces to throw the wood in and get some warmth going if you need it. But it is a nice spring day, so the wood is just there in case, and a lot of these people are just trying to find a way to get comfortable and hunker down. People are exhausted and hurt. However, as the sun has just fallen down over the horizon, I need perception checks from those of you who are still outside. Kari and Sebastian from mostly the west, but a little northwest, also Rastat, a little to the northwest, you guys see a column of lightning. At first, you're thinking it's a lightning strike, but then you realize there aren't enough clouds for it to actually be a lightning strike. Someone is firing lightning into the sky from the west. If you want to give me a knowledge nature or geography check, you can try and guess the distance.
Geez, that's my second natural one tonight.
It's best to get them out early.
It's good to get them out of the way when other people are also rolling, so if you fail, they may not.
Rusty says, I can't really tell. It may be because of these crazy peels.
Is anyone who made so Kari, Sebastian, or Rastat, if any of you are trained in spellcraft, give me a spellcraft check.
Sebastian is not trained in spellcraft, and so
that's true.
I didn't figure it out.
So yep, you're not certain what it is either. But there's definitely somebody firing lightning in the sky multiple times. Jaden, that is a lightning bolt spell. Someone has amplified a lightning bolt spell to fire much further than normal, and it's just firing it into the sky over and over again.
I think this is a flare. Someone's trying to get our attention. I say to the rest.
That's something. You say this is off to the west? Did
Off to
someone
the
figure out
west.
how far
No,
it was?
no one passed that geography check.
Fine. It's pretty obvious that it's there. Is it continuous?
It
It
only
not
goes on
end?
for about a minute and then it stops.
All right, fine. Any sort of landmarks in there that we can
The
navigate
thing
by?
is, it's lightning, but it's going from the ground to the sky. It's backwards.
Technically it's not backwards because lightning does go from the ground to the sky.
But you can't
natural
really see
lightning, but
that,
this
you
is
know, when
definitely not
it's so
natural.
quick. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't see that effect. Yeah.
So Simon just shrugs, grunts, and walks away
Which direction?
with his west towards the lightning with his bottle of water.
The thug, is he still standing around?
He's inside trying to find a place to get to sleep, but you can go round him up if you want.
I want to tell him guard the shelter. If anything happens to the musicians while I'm away, he will be my breakfast.
He falls right in line. Sir, yes, sir. This man is what you would call a follower.
Excellent. It's my favorite kind. Then I follow Sigand? Is that Simon? Okay.
Simon, yeah. And Simon actually lights
Simone.
the candle. Ching, ching. You know, he has a little flintlock, and that's what he sees by as he's walking through whatever.
I'll fly up to Simon and say, I'll scout ahead and
Well, thank you.
work with him going
Who
west.
else is gonna?
He just grunts and nods.
Who else is gonna start trekking west?
We don't have anything better to do.
You could always sleep, travel.
The bathroom.
You can always sleep and then travel during the day.
That's true.
Yeah. That does sound good. I might do that.
Well, the reasonable people stay and sleep and gonna follow, but yeah, Simon's gone. He's out of here. Head for the lightning.
Okay. So if you're gonna start walking the night, then so the way travel works is you've got to give me every time you enter new hex, you give me a survival check, and the better that survival check is, the better when we randomly roll what's in the hex. Now, it could be something good. Sometimes you'll find things like deer, boar, travelers, things like that. It could be something bad. The better your survival check is, the more likely it is signs of them rather than stumbling upon them. Simon, in the middle of the night, also give me a 1d100.
Okay.
Oh, a 74. Let me get my planes chart here.
It's a plain chart. It can't be that complex. You know, it's just one thing, 1 through 100 stuff.
It's 1 through 100 stuff. That is exactly what it is. But there's multiple planes charts. I'm trying to find the right one. That's the right one. Okay. And you rolled a 74. In the middle of the night, how many of them is it? D6. You spook a vulture. There's definitely vultures out here. And you end up spooking one in the middle of the night that's sitting on an old tree. And capture it, kill it, and eat it if you feel like it, if you got a ranged attack to go quick. But
I do have a ranged attack. It's called a dragon.
It's true, you do have a dragon with you. But there's a vulture if you want to try and kill it, or you can let it go, but it's not attacking you. It's flying off when it sees you.
I'm not interested.
They
in
don't
the
taste
vulture,
very good.
but the dragon might be. Okay.
I've got a frozen snack back at the place. I'm not worried.
Simon, Jaden was his name? Yeah. Motions for Jaden. There's one vulture. There's death. The others.
Not in the 60 feet. It is the middle of the night for you guys still. I'm going to copy you and put you here so that we...
Do you hear others?
I mean, vultures sleep too, so they're probably just hanging out. If it was during day, I'd worry about it.
Yeah, it was literally sitting in that tree sleeping.
So maybe a nest of any eggs.
If you guys are going to go all night, you need to give me a Constitution save, or be fatigued the next day.
Oh, I'm going to go all night. I'm a freaking berserker.
If you're fatigued, you can't berserk.
He still doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a Constitution check to go all night.
Yeah.
DC 10 Constitution check.
Port save, I guess.
Jaden is fine. You are not exhausted, and neither is Simon. Every day the DC goes up by 2. 2, 4.
Okay. But on this vulture, if it was just sleeping in the tree, was there a nest up there? Are there eggs? That would be something nice to eat. For me, anyway. I'm not climbing that tree. It depends on what the dragon's feeling like today. Let's
I mean,
see.
yeah, he'll buzz up there and look, but I don't think so.
Oh.
No, it was sleeping in the tree, but its nest, you weren't able to figure out where its nest was from here.
All right, keep on trucking. Mark the tree. I don't think these people will make heads or tails. Oh, hold on. Let's see. What would be a good? Our country. Nobody else knows that we were from, so just do a quick little. Ching, ching,
I
ching,
land
ching,
on Simon's
in the bark of
shoulder
the
and
tree.
pat him on the head and say, "Don't worry, I'll keep an eye out for rabbits."
So you take your axe and carve the bowler was here or something like that?
Yeah, Killjoy.
Killjoy was here. Kilroy was here.
And just keep on trucking. That way, if they stumble across.
Kilroy, one of the very first memes.
Yeah, I know. If they stumble across the tree, that'd be great. And if the vulture comes back, it'll go, huh?
It may not even notice.
So, yeah, probably not. So we stagger on through the night.
So you stagger on through the night. You're going to try and force march through the day. How about you guys? So back at the remnants of the building, you guys wake up in the morning. Most people are hungover and tired and hungry and grumpy. What are you guys up to?
Dividing groups into hunters and gatherers.
So
yeah, it's survival.
All of these people over here are gatherers.
Who's good at who's yes, and whatever you pick, don't eat immediately. We gotta gather this stuff and check it.
We're gonna get people out there trying to find berries or anything like that.
The first thing I always
right,
do in the mornings is pray a bit. I spend about 30 minutes praying.
The vast majority of the citizens come to pray with you. Like they're expecting you to lead them in prayer. Okay, great. Because they are scared and nervous.
I don't know if they pray to the same God as I do, but we'll...
You know, they're flexible on which God right now.
Okay.
It's a polytheistic world. They know that gods exist, so they'll take yours.
All right.
My assumption is most people in this world are polytheistic. If you're a cleric or a divine person who follows a specific god, you still believe the other gods exist. You've seen their magics. You just are a worshiper of one. So most people are willing to be flexible, especially if your god is a general purpose good god. All of the good gods, you might hang out at a church of another good god and they wouldn't be bothered by it. If you move to a country with a good god, they'll probably give you a little spot in their temple to put up a little shrine to your god, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are pretty, as long as your god isn't death, lies, and taxes, they're going to be pretty accepting.
While they're all praying. Yeah, they're all praying, making traps and snares for wildlife creatures.
So who's giving me, you want survival checks then to try and feed yourselves, to try and find food. There are 16 other survivors, and I'm just going to find out what their take 10 is. Polar 5 citizens have a survival skill of, hey, they have a survival skill of 6, so with a plus 16, they can all take 10. If you're sending out the survivors to feed themselves, they're going to be able to succeed. They can actually scrounge up food to feed themselves. It's the 4 musicians and the 3 noblemen who aren't going to be able to feed themselves on average. So it is a DC. Let me look up survival skill here. We've got specific DCs for this. Survive in the wilderness. It is a DC 10 to get along in the wilderness, up to half your overland speed while hunting and foraging. No food or water supplies needed. You can provide food and water for 1 other person for every 2 points by which you exceed this result. So you guys, I don't think are going to have a hard time if you're staying still with the civilians you have and the skills you have. I don't think you guys are going to have a hard time feeding yourselves as long as you're not trying to move.
Sebastian has the water supply taken care of.
Yeah, you've got can you create water?
I create water.
So between create water and your civilians who actually are trained in the survival skill, most of them have had to all their life, they're actually able to start finding food. A lot of them can recognize carrots, wild barrel, things like that. And a few of them are even starting to figure out where they should put a garden. Like, they're figuring it out.
Yes, bards, play a song, motivate them. Bring cheer to these good workers.
Does the water you create have carbonation and natural essences?
One hand is gassed, one hand is non-gassed water.
It is clear, clean, potable water, but it is mundane water unless you have one of the traits or gods that changes it. As an example, if you have a god of, say, like a pirate god, you might summon something besides water, like grog. But it's, for the most part, it's assumed to be clean, clear water.
So you have a pirate god. Say it. Say it.
So
Well, he's got to be religious for that.
Obviously not. He was trying to stabilize people that were wounded, that were opponents. Obviously, he does not worship pirates.
Not too bad.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
All right. So are you guys not moving? You're letting Simon, or any of you guys going to head west?
Yes. Sebastian's going to find out if anybody else would like to go west, and he wants to look for animals.
All right. Sebastian made a survival check. So did Briscoe. So you guys are able to move west if you want, while scrounging for food. Who all is going west?
I'll go with Sebastian.
Okay. So I'm going to
Since
do
he
this.
has
And
myopia extremis.
all right. So let's do another day of travel, and I'm just going to use you guys. I'm going to do it this way. Oop, it doesn't work. Doesn't work as easily as other stuff does. I'm going to synchronize it to days of travel. That way I don't have to make you guys do checks at different times. So Sebastian is leaving with, who else is going? What characters? Kari. Anyone else?
No, I'm staying behind to make sure there's not a revolt.
I'm staying behind to help protect the people here.
All right. Oops. Let me just boom. Sebastian and Kari, one of you two needs to give me a survival check. And then Simon and Jaden, give me survival checks to move another hex west.
Good roll. Good roll.
Hey, both of you got the same numbers. That makes my life easy. And give me those percentiles. Each group needs to give me 1 percentile.
Why don't you roll the percentile this time, Neff?
Let's see which groups are together. Why did Briscoe roll 1? Briscoe, you're back with the group, aren't you?
Oh, I thought you
Group,
said
I mean-
each. I thought you meant all three.
Oh, I meant, sorry. Yeah, traveling
Gotcha.
group. Each traveling group needs to give me 1. All right, so let me just start with Sebastian. Let me look at Jaden. Hey, those are the same. All right, Sebastian. You spot what appear to be the tracks of a group of people. Oh, no, wait. You got a 17, didn't you? Okay. While you were traveling across you see a group of people coming from the north, and they appear to spot you. There are a few of them. Give me a perception check. Let's see if you can spot. There are.
He can hear and things like that. He points it out to him.
Let me make a quick token so we can show you what these people look like. Kari, you're able to get a good count. There are, GM roll. There are 3 people moving across the plains, and they've seen you, and you think they have altered their course to come towards you.
Sebastian, no.
Hail and well met.
Let me just grab a token here for them. So we've got an image. They are dressed like this, fairly conservative clothes, but they do appear to have pointed ears like elves as they approach you, and they attempt to speak to you, but they are not speaking your language. Do you have a way to cross that linguistics barrier, either magically or with the linguistics skill? Or do you speak Elvish? Who is that? Character name.
Kari.
Kari, great. Okay. They are speaking Elvish. When they see you, they say, hello, traveler, hello, travelers, in Elvish.
Hello.
She looks at your clothes. You appear to be from far away.
Oh, yes. We're not sure how far.
Comprehend languages, let me speak. No, that would take tongues.
Let you understand, but it will let you understand. So you can at least follow the conversation. And yeah, okay.
We're from.
Where are you?
We're from a land called Bowlerfife.
I've never heard of that. We're from a small village a few miles north, or a few miles, and she points north and gives the elven word for north, which is not quite north, but close enough. A few days' travel, we were hunting on the plains and saw strange lightning last night. Thought we'd investigate. Is that
We were also wanting to investigate the strange lightning.
We have some friends who went off last night and traveled through the night.
we were just discussing whether it was to the west from here or further south. There's 3 people there, a man and 2 women. One of the women appears to be in charge. She appears to be the mother of the other 2. The man is a little larger and is carrying a dead deer antelope over his shoulders.
Look to the skies. One of our companions is a small dragon. It'll be white in color.
Very.
We haven't
small.
seen him.
You'd have to get pretty close. He is very small dragon. Like.
Cat size. Gotcha.
If you guys are okay with it, though, they would happily travel with you the rest of the way.
Okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to add in. Now we've got 3 of these guys in tow. Just for now, in case it comes up. And I'm going to throw them up here with you 2. And I'm going to give them a token marker. How late do we normally play? I don't want to go over time on you guys.
I think we're doing okay.
How much longer do we normally have?
We'll let you know when.
About another
We
hour?
might go to 10, 10:30, 11. It depends on. This is the first game of this, so I think folks are willing
It's
to go long.
10:45 where I'm
I
at
would
now.
imagine.
That's why I was asking. I'm just curious.
Yeah, we're all
Okay.
central.
So you're only an hour behind me.
9:45 here.
So another.
Yeah.
Okay, we can get you to the lightning at least and get that far. All right, and then the other one was a 53, which is less than 59. Is it a different thing on the table? Yes, it is. 54 to 59, tribes folk. 48 to 53. Let's hope you guys don't die to this. Give me a D8 of them. Give me a survival check, Simone and Jaden. You 2 hear a howl in the distance, and from your check, you're pretty certain you are being tracked by some sort of canine.
Dinner. Turn and head towards the sound.
Put your back against something. I'll fly above.
Is there something to put the
There's
back
always
against?
a outcropping or a small gull. It's a plains, but plains aren't featureless, right? They're not.
I see the logic in the dragon suggestion, and he'll probably hurt them towards or away. But yeah, I'll find a tree or something that they cannot attack from above.
Jaden, you want to give me a knowledge nature? You'll be able to find these guys no problem. Flying through the night. You got yourself a pair of hyenas. A mated pair of hyenas is tracking you.
Wait till they're within 35 feet of Simon and then breathe on them.
Okay, so you're going to circle above where they can't see
That's
you.
the plan, yes.
And wait for them to find Simon and then just pincher him in. I would bust out a map, but the fight, they're honestly not that dangerous, so the fight's going to go pretty quickly. Let me just crack open an initiative tracker, and if you guys want to roll initiative real quick, I'll add the hyenas to it, and we'll just run it this way. Keep it fast so we're not focused on a fight with you 2 that, forever. Simon, do you have stealth? Do you want to give me a stealth check, or are you not stealthy?
Oh, no, he's stealthy. You remember, that's one of his feats.
Give me a stealth check. Let's see if you can just get the
But
jump
he's
on
in
them.
plate armor. Let's
Doesn't
see.
mean you'll roll badly.
Oh, yes, it does. You saw what I rolled for initiative.
And their perception.
It's with a -3 even. Wow, who knew?
You've got your back to the gully, pressed up against the roots of a small tree that are coming out of this little spot, axe up. You did a walk around circle so that they literally walk past you, sniffing the ground. They don't even spot you as they're following that circle you walked around. So yeah, you definitely get the surprise round on them. So both of you are going to get to act before they get an action. During a surprise round, you get a single action, and instead of the full round of actions. So what are you going to do during your surprise round?
Duck,
Jaden, you're up first.
he's breathing,
so they're going to
wait
give
for that.
reflex saves. They're pretty good at this. 1d20 plus 5, 1 and 2. They both pass and take half damage. They both take 2 damage. I'm just going to track this, and these got them. Boom. You breathe cold on them, and they are taken by surprise. How about you, Simon?
I'm just going to use the great sword. I'm not going to berserk.
Okay. They're a few feet away from you, so you can just do the half charge that you can do during the surprise round.
All right, we'll just roll it and see if it matters.
Yep, charge and smash them. So during a charge, that's a +2. 13 is going to hit him for 10 points of damage. So you hit the closest one for 10 and take it down. And then during the next round, the second one is going to try and flee, which will provoke from you, Simon, if you want to take an attack against it.
Don't run. Come back. Your dinner.
Don't run. You're edible. That's going to hit it for 9. And that unfortunately won't take it down. That leaves it with 0 hit points. So it's staggered, it runs, and then at the end of next round, it collapses because it was staggered and took a strenuous action. So there we go. I didn't think that would be too difficult.
Simon just grins up at the dragon. Which one do you want?
I'll take the smaller one. You look like you could use a good meal.
For the
Thank you.
record, hyena tastes awful. It's very stringy and very gamey. Right?
Didn't
Like
care.
you two might
Dragon
not care,
probably
but you've
didn't care.
definitely eaten better meat.
Yeah.
It's not boar. Boar is just the best.
And that fug last night, though, man, it was great.
He was
Oh,
definitely.
yeah? Tell me about it.
Yeah.
What was the leg bone like? I haven't actually eaten human yet.
Have you had pig?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine a longer version of that.
Oh, my. Wow. Can't imagine what I've been missing all
It
these
tastes
years.
like boar.
It's a problem is by the time he takes another bite, by the time I eat something like that, I've used the acid attack on it. It's all melty and gooey. It's very bad.
I can understand that. Fortunately, we like frozen food.
Yeah. Of everybody he's met so far, Simon likes the dragon the best.
All right. Assuming that you guys are the people who are in town are staying, or not town, at the building are staying there, and the rest of you are heading west, we can do another day of survival checks.
It would be hard to move with all of these people.
It is. If you want to keep them safe, this is the place to keep them safe.
Yeah.
Ooh, great. So give me percentages again. Yes, give me
I
percentages.
suppose it's my turn to try to get us killed. I know. It's fine. I'll let your survival. My God.
So 70 and 35. So 35 is Sebastian. Let's just see. We've got Sebastian and Kari and 3 tribesmen. One of the tribesmen, boom, has a perception check to make and fails it. As you guys are moving through, the man of the tribesmen, a snake attempts to bite him. He accidentally stumbles into a pit of vipers. Let's see, how many of them are there? Or 1d6. Just one viper tries to bite him and fails. And at that point, it's a single snake. It'll just get scared off. It's not going to sit there and fight you all day. But so no problems there in Sebastian's group. You were not eaten by a snake or bitten by a problematic snake. And Simon's group rolled a 7, which means perfect. You're pretty sure you spot the town, or I should say a large group of people with several parts of buildings. Just like the underground rooms that you were in that kind of held together and fell, there's what appears to be the rubble and ruins of a large hall outside, as well as several other rooms, pipes scattered about the plains here, and there's easily 200-300 people milling about trying to take the rubble and build shelters and that sort of thing. But the room they were in did not fare as well as the room you were in. But this is definitely more of the people from your town here in this hex.
Well, we're at
and you can see that several guys are currently arguing over a book that they've got on a stone table that's got a big crack through the center of it.
Simon grunts the motions for the dragon. I don't like the look of it. I'm not inclined to just march in there and say, "Hi, we survived too." These people look a little desperate.
Well,
What do you see?
They're from your town, right?
Yeah, and given what happened, I guess they have cause to be desperate, but 200. We really need to find out what their situation is before we introduce ourselves. So,
I can sneak around and try to listen in.
Give me a stealth check.
all right. Don't get
You've
shot.
got a great stealth.
I'm a ninja.
Yeah. Let me check.
And as he says that, he disappears. I was like, where did he go? Yeah.
Just check their skills here.
Somebody hits a little gong off in the distance.
I wasn't actually rolling it. I just want to know what their number is. The 11s. So they're not looking for anything. Their passive is an 11. So you're able to sneak right on up and get under the table and listen. They are arguing very clearly over a spell book. 2 of the guys know how to cast enough magic, and they're debating what to do with the remaining spells in the book. One of them believes that they shouldn't use any of the magics that they're not capable of casting without destroying the spells. But the other ones, look, we need to use the pages in this thing. We can use this to make a building. We need a building. We need to start graining silo. We don't know how long we're going to be here. And he's trying to get, basically they're having a debate about the spell book. One of the spells in the book is Wall of Stone, and neither of them are a good enough spellcaster to memorize the spell out of the book and cast it. Instead, they're debating using the spell like it was a scroll, which will destroy the page, but it'll let them make a single building by making a square stone wall. And then basically that builds them a nice foundation to build an actual building on. And they're having that debate about whether or not they should use it as a one-time thing or save it and try and
Or forget what he's doing and ask out loud, hey, did one of you shoot the lightning off the other day?
They look around. Who said that? And then finally one looks under the table. What's your official title?
Ooh, that's a good question. I wrote it down. 1 second.
Duke.
I'm a Duke.
Duke.
Oh, the Dragon Duke survived. How long have you been under there?
Why, the whole time,
Oh,
of course.
Goodness, come. Can you cast these spells? Maybe you can handle this. If you can cast it without destroying the spell, this makes this whole argument moot. The other one goes, I agree to that. Yes, of course.
Yes, but did y'all shoot lightning off the other day?
One of them sheepishly says, I was able to produce one of the things in this. The Archmage unfortunately didn't survive. He was killed when part of the room collapsed. But we felt he wouldn't mind us taking the supplies off of his body. He had a wand that we expended. He had several scrolls that we expended to hopefully get other survivors' attention. We don't know if there's any on their way, though. No one has arrived yet.
Yes, we have. And I'll wave to Simon.
So yeah, he stands up, puts the great sword away.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's two more. And
I rolled a 25 on
idiots.
spellcraft. Am I good enough to understand how to use Wall of Stone?
You can
stuff?
definitely cast Wall of Stone from the spellbook as if it were a scroll, but you don't have the skill until you can cast it naturally. Let me look up the spell level Pathfinder Wall of.
All right. While you're looking that up, you idiots.
Wall of Stone. Oh, sorry.
You idiots sent up God knows how much lightning. And it's not only attracted us, but it's going to attract everything, including things that want to kill you. Do you understand?
That's why we're
me?
building. That's why we've got some of the men sharpening spears.
You don't have time. You need to leave this place now.
What's going to kill us out here on the plains?
And he just tilts his head, grunts at them, really.
So none of the buildings here are intact enough to give shelter to the 300
correct.
people.
No,
correct?
there's about 200 to 300 people here. The buildings themselves there's some ceiling left in parts, but the whole thing was basically torn out like yours was, but lacked the iron walls. Because you were in more of an area that was almost like its own vault. This place was stone masonry and standard wood beams and that sort of thing. So this area, when it was dropped in, was completely destroyed. And
I will say to Simon over the heads of the two guys that had been talking, do you think they should go to the east with us to our shelter that is intact? I don't know if it'll hold this many people, but it would be a better base camp, I believe.
Okay, Simon. Chaotic neutral thinks that those people back there have a better chance of survival without these idiots. Yes, if they want to survive, they should come. But they have already proven how foolish they are. So a large number of them will not. But any that choose to may come with us.
explain to us how we're the fools.
Lightning in sky, seen for many miles. Plains.
And you came, and that was our goal.
Plains home to other things, not nearly as nice as me, and I'm not nice at all.
And what things do you think will be attracted to lightning that are that dangerous?
Orcs, goblins, things that see magic in the distance and covet it. Dragons, like this one.
He gives you a look. There hasn't been a living orc in over 100 years.
In
Half orcs, some bloodlines are still around, but the orc tribes have been dead for over 100 years.
our home,
Plus,
fool. This is not
we
our
have several
home.
hundred.
This is a
We have
whole
several
nother
hundred people
hemisphere,
here, all
a
building
whole
spears.
nother continent. We have no clue what might be here.
We have all the supplies they left us in case this happened.
He kills him.
We're just trying to find the rest of the tent.
The barbarian kills the guy putting up an argument.
You can try.
We'll try.
But not everyone here is level 1.
That's fine.
Grab the NPC.
I blaze him like
I'm not there to say anything.
Yeah, you can try attacking this guy. He's not expecting you to just attack him, so if you want to get a surprise round in, you definitely can.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that means that not much is going to happen, but, with the acid.
So you activate the acid and attack. His AC.
Oh, Lord. That
Well,
poor
you definitely
guy.
hit him.
No, he's probably still alive. If he's not level 1, that's not going to take him
does
down.
not take him down. Let's see. He has this many hit points, but that does definitely hurt like hell. So he is definitely alarmed. So we're going to go into a quick initiative. Grab the tracker.
Okay. Oh, good. My traditionally low initiative. Oh, goody.
And
I'm fighting a poet.
6. So he is going to get to go before you during that round.
Oh, go ahead. It'll be too much. It'll be more fun that way.
Nope, I passed my will check.
Let me check. Grab something real quick and find out how that spell
He's the
works.
court.
As long as he doesn't cast a spell like from the damn spell book, then we'll see.
No, he's
What
not
is
casting a
probably
spell from the
gonna
spell book. He's casting one that he knows. Oh, okay, yeah. He's going to 5-foot step back away from you and cast a spell. I need a DC 16 fort save. You go blind.
Of course. All right.
And you hear him shout, "I'm under attack, constables!" Simon, you're up.
Okay. And this is blinded.
You can definitely hear where he is because he's shouting. You take a 5-foot step up and attack. I'm assuming you don't have blind fighting, but either way, you need to roll a 1d2. On a 1, you miss. On a 2, you hit.
50-50 chance.
So yeah, you swing through his square, but we're not able to connect. We're not able to connect with him. On his turn, he is going to. Does that actually do anything? No, that just stops divination spells. Oh, Jaden, why don't you take your action first? Do you want to jump into this, Jaden?
Jaden just wanted to be able to shout out, just stop talking. He'll stop attacking you.
Let's see. The poet is going to take a 5-foot step and remain silent. Simon, you're not sure where he's at. There are basically 3 squares he could be in.
How long does this blinded effect last?
It's permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah, blindness, deafness, permanent. Let me read it to you.
Don't bother.
It's a 2nd level bard
don't
spell.
care.
You call
Is
upon
he in
power.
that doesn't matter. I'm gonna.
He actually is in number 3. Yeah, no, I had randomized it in my head too, and was going to have you do that. So
and then I'll roll my
that will hit
blah, blah, blah.
1d2. So you connect and hit him for 18 damage. He goes down. Yeah, it's 1 living creature, duration permanent. D, only the person who cast it can dismiss
And
it.
now,
Also killing him will make it go
Okay.
away. He goes down. He's unconscious but not dead. And let me get the stats for you're being arrested by.
oh, hang
about
on.
a half
They got to
dozen
show up
constables.
first. He's unconscious. I kill him.
Yeah, 1, you still have to make your attack of opportunity. People are showing up. There were 300 people within 50 feet. Like the minute he started shouting for constables 12 seconds ago, people started
Okay.
coming. So yeah, you can. Yeah, you want to execute him, you can go ahead and do that. It's same situation with the D2 though, because your coup de grace has a 50% chance of hitting ground because you don't know where his body crumpled.
He
Jaden
rolled a-
looks to the second person that had been arguing over the spell book and says, I thought he would stop attacking.
You murder this man. Yeah, you murder this nobleman in cold blood.
No, hot blood. Berserker.
Okay,
But
so
yes.
your vision comes back, and there are about 30 people now surrounding you running at you with spears.
All right. He's a berserker. Next.
I mean, you want to do this fight, or you want to give up and get arrested?
No, I'm going to do the fight. I'm pretty sure it'll go quickly. Let's get it over with.
All right. It's really just a matter of how many people you kill before they kill you.
It's just, hey, you just want to roll some dice and say it's over with?
Let's see. Let me find.
Try it.
I don't know what Jaden's going to do to convince these. Yeah, okay. It's a bunch of level 1 warriors, right? These guys aren't exactly. These are all just constables. They've recently been recruited. And they've just got spears and no armor, but it's still almost a matter of time. They have 8 hit points. I got their stats here. I'll let you go first.
About Hulk going crazy.
You can either flee or you can keep fighting. It's your choice. But
Hulk mad.
Well, he keeps fighting. You said he was surrounded. So
no, 30 people coming at you to surround you. They were over there. These 2 were over here. If you want to flee, you can flee or attempt to flee.
No, he'll stand his ground, but he's not going to allow himself to be arrested. So when
30 people are coming around to arrest you, and one of them's got rope, a bunch of them have spears, and they're closing in around you. So if you're going to start swinging on them, you can start.
Well, the first person that shows up with the rope is going to get the swing. So yeah.
Sure. He gets close enough to try and tie you up. All right. I don't know. Are they even going to try and grapple you? I mean, if you're swinging at that guy, they're just going to start attacking. So around you, that means in a hexes, only 3, 6, 8 can get around you. One of them has a rope, not a spear. So it's 7 spear attacks. 1d20 plus their spear is a +3 to hit, and it does a d6 +2 damage if it hits. And we got 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is your AC? 18. So one of them manages to hit you for 8 damage.
All right, he's still there. Got 4 hit points.
Well, your turn is up.
Jaden's gonna look to the remaining guy of the 2 that were arguing, to the one that's not the poet that's dead, and ask him, "Can you get them to all to back away?
Why would I save a murderer?
You're gonna lose some of them.
It's their duty."
So go ahead and roll again.
Let's see. Their AC is 13, so that missed. One of them hits you for 7.
That's it.
Oh, and 1 hits for 4. Yeah, they put you down, and they don't have a jail or anything. They're
time up.
They're going to execute you, right? Unless the Duke wants to do something.
I would assume that they would execute me. Yes.
Yeah, I can't see why they.
And wouldn't. How they? Yeah, so that's that.
You did murder a court poet in literal cold blood.
He wouldn't shut up, but there you go. So 1 down.
Jaden looks at the guy he was talking to. So who are you, by the way?
Mine is everyone just calls me Taylor. I was a bursar for Lord Valdrick. I'm technically a knight, sir, but I've never held a lance. I'm one of his arcane advisors.
Ah, I see. Are you in charge or the highest ranking person at this location?
Not technically. We do have a count here, but he's rather old and infirm and is maybe dead. We don't think he'll last long. He was injured and we're not able to do much for him without proper healing magics, and we don't have anyone here who can do that. But I've been trying to figure out what to do with the resources we have.
Oh, sorry about what just happened. Very surprised that happened. We ate high last night. It may have made him go feral.
Made him go feral.
It was feral to begin with.
But I would suggest packing up and heading east. I can lead you to our shelter, which is in better condition, and it might be a better starting place.
We've got 300 people here. We can't move the supplies. They're too heavy. We don't have wagons or anything. We would have to leave all the food, all the building materials, all of the tools. We might be able to take some of it with us, but it would be much more effective to bring your people here. We've got supplies. We're just over that hill. We've got several of the tents set up so that we can keep the wine and meat as preserved as possible. And we're starting to set up the lathe, and some of the men have started to even pull in logs. We were gonna start building shelters.
What did you want done with the swallow stone?
We were thinking to build a granary with it.
Granary.
That's what he wanted to do. I wanted to save it. until I could learn to cast the magics naturally. I'm
I
just
feel
not
like
that good
you've
a
won
wizard.
that argument.
I agree with that. That the argument does seem to be over.
We don't have grain to store yet.
We have about half a ton of grain to store.
Oh, we do.
Follow me. And he takes you over to literally the ruins of a storehouse full of supplies. The whole system is designed to teleport us to safety. It wasn't supposed to teleport us this far, but we had supplies to feed the people here for a few weeks if need be, while we find out what happened in town. If the failsafe was activated and teleported us, it shouldn't have brought us here. But we still have the failsafe supplies.
Interesting.
I was trying to not waste them, and we've got more than enough grain to feed these people for a few months. So I thought we should silo it instead of leaving it in crates. That's how you get weevils.
True. No one likes weevils.
I just didn't want to waste perfectly good scroll. You never know when we're going to need it for something better. Here, you can read magic, yes, sir?
I can, but I can't use it without it being consumed. I'm in the same boat as you, that I would need to be able to.
Well, we've got quite the list of spells in this book. Excuse me, I need to. And he goes over and he talks to a few people. They run off and get shovels and begin to dig a grave for. Well, they're digging two graves, one shallower than the other. And he says, "Make sure the barbarian is face down. I'm concerned he had the brain weevil."
So burying them face down will keep the brain weevil from getting out?
No, but if it wakes up, it'll try and dig down instead of up.
Oh, gotcha.
It won't actually do anything, but that's what people do anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like you're up to a good start here. I have people to the east I will go relay this information to. One of them, I saw healing, so that might be useful for your count.
If the count is still alive when he gets back, but as far as I know, you're the high noble here.
Then I use my power to delegate to you. I'll be back.
Yes, sir.
I'll be back.
So are you going to start flying back right away? Or are you going to because you guys arrive, I guess you walked all night. So you arrived early morning.
Well, knowing my flight speed and not having to walk with Simon,
you will be able
anymore,
to make better
sadly.
time back. That's true.
Yeah. So would I be able to get there before
You're
nightfall?
going to be able to move 3 hexes in a day. So if you booked it, you'd get there at nightfall. But let's see if you're exhausted, because you did walk all night again. Give me a Constitution check. Now it's a DC 14.
Fair enough. Constitution check.
So you're exhausted. You're only be able to move at half speed anyway, unless you rest. So if you sleep the day or spend 20 the day and night resting.
I'll rest
so
first.
You'll be able to get there tomorrow. But let's see, Sebastian.
Take stock of what's going on around here.
So that means Sebastian and Kari are going to arrive the next day. What's really sad is that was a ton of EP if you'd survived. That was a level 5 bard you murdered. He's a ton of experience points.
Do you remember back when a level 1 bard was a force to be reckoned with?
I mean, this guy does have blindness. It's a pretty effective spell. But unfortunately, the rest of his spell list sucks.
And in fact, it's just bad luck that he died, because I only really had a 1 in 6 chance of killing him. Yeah.
I was really hoping.
And if you had been blind, those guys have been able to tackle and tie you up way better. But yes, Sebastian and Kari arrive in town. And you find You find a group of people who have a stone table out on a bit of a small hillock, maybe like a 5-foot tall hillock, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And they've got people cooking, and they've got a few wood frame tents erected. They are happy to meet people. The tribesmen are ecstatic to meet Jaden. They've never met a dragon before. This is quite a treat for them. They have a lot of questions. Is it true you can breathe fire?
Yes.
Fascinated. They've never seen a dragon before. They're in on this, and they seem to be friendly. They're meeting everyone here. They're a bit of a talking point because they are pure-blooded plains elves, but there's a few people here who speak Elven. It's not the rarest of languages. They have a very thick accent, though. They have some weird accent you've never heard before.
Ask them what dangers are around these parts.
You don't want to fight a bison if you don't have to. If you want to kill that with arrows and spears at best. Far to the north, there is we don't go into the lush lands. The lush lands have a lot more dangers. That's where you're going to find in the forest. They call them the lush lands, but the forests to the northeast or the northwest are far more dangerous than the plains. That's where you're going to find some of the most dangerous beasts. They'll turn you to stone. You don't even want to fish in that lake because there's a large lake monster here in this lake. They tell you about that. What's over here?
I know I'm not there, but it sounded like that they knew that this town would be teleported at some point.
Yeah, that was the point of the exercise. We were the emergency backup.
It just wasn't. Yeah, it was not supposed to teleport you here. But there is and it wasn't supposed to bring the buildings either. It was supposed to teleport all of the people to what you were told. It was supposed to teleport all of the people in the area on a contingency spell to a specific safe landing zone in another city with supplies or near another city with supplies and that sort of thing to keep you guys going. And
that was what I was thinking. But something happened and there was a mistake and the buildings got teleported to.
Something went very wrong.
Okay, so and I will look at Jaden and where's Simon?
He's over there, and he points to the shallow grave.
There are two graves. One is marked.
By the way, Sebastian, come meet the Count.
Oh yeah, Sebastian's the healer, and he's there the next day, isn't he? So in one of the supply tents, they have a series of blankets on the ground, and on it is a man easily in his 90s, barely, not even conscious, but he is breathing very shallowly. Both of his legs have been pretty badly shattered, and his eyes and hands are very badly bruised. And they explained to you, we had to pull him out from underneath it. His chair collapsed, and we had to pull him out. His legs were pinned underneath some fallen masonry. We were able to get him out. Two of his servants, though, were crushed in the collapse, as well as his archman.
I will do a heal check just to see if I know what to do. And heal spell.
Give me a heal check. So the heal spell will save him. He is definitely on the slow way out. He's running out of hit points, so healing him will save him. However, he's also taken a chunk of attribute damage, broken legs, that sort of thing. For that, you'll need the restoration spell. That comes a little bit later. But you can definitely keep this man from dying. He ain't walking anywhere, but he'll be awake and 90 years old, but at least not dead. He'll be as good as he can get if you want to use healing magics on him.
Excellent. Very good.
He'll stop the slow expiration that he's undergoing. If you spend, and we can roll it, but he's only got about 20 hit points total. So if you want to spend 3 spells, you'll get him back to his full hit points probably. Oh yeah, that's a great start. That's 8, 17. He's close to full. And he's definitely not bleeding out anymore. So you can bring him to full with another one. Very likely if you want. Okay, yeah. 27 points of healing there. No, 25 still. That gets him to full.
What was our bursar's name?
Mr. Gall. Is that the guy you're talking about? Yeah. I've got all the NPCs up here.
No, my new friend. My new friend. The one that didn't get killed.
Let me get you up here. That was the name of the new one. Let me get a good fantasy noble picture.
Haley, do we have any musicians at this site?
I'm certain a few people here know their way around an instrument.
There's one that's lying in the ground.
He's a poet.
That's a poet. They don't count.
Okay, question for our elven friends. The little light show they did the other day, is that likely to attract any unwanted attention around here, or
not that I can think of? None of the beasts here would be attracted to it. Maybe
they said just don't fight bison.
Maybe if the war tribes to the far, far south saw it, they might. But if they're coming to see what it was, if they could even see it from there, if they're coming for it, they're a few weeks away at least.
Okay.
You have to be careful of the greenskins. Orcs. They've been a problem for generations. He was right about the orcs.
Simon told us about those.
He warned you.
Simon the Wise.
What direction would the orcs come from if they were
The
to
south.
come?
There.
So are they what they were referring to as the
We
war
call-
tribes, or is that a
There's
separate
many
thing?
tribes of them. But they're all war tribes. They typically war with each other more than us. They don't like to come across the lakes. They don't have boats, so they have to go the long way around. And that's assuming they even saw it and knew what it was. It's more likely one of their shamans saw it and took it as a sign that he should take over the tribe and started another war with themselves. As long as they don't know you and your people are here, you'll be fine.
Okay.
That's how we survive. Just don't
Shoot lightning bolts.
send an emissary to them. You should be fine here for a while, at the very least, until they discover you.
Very smart. Jaden looks at Taylor and says, "Remember that. No foraying south."
And build walls. Around whatever you do, build walls. That'll keep you safe in there.
Are you writing this down, Taylor?
I have a good memory, sir.
Excellent.
So let's see. Jaden, you wanted to fly back east and get the rest of the group?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
So it takes you a week to fly back east, and you're able to find them. They've been doing pretty good. They close that door up at night, sleep the night, go foraging during the day. They've found plenty of root vegetables. They've got stews going. They're able to get wood, no problem. So they're able to keep things going.
You said a week. Did you mean a day?
I'm sorry, a day. They've been gone about 3 days. Travel there and then another day back. But they've been making good. When Jaden and his group return, or Jaden returns,
Yeah, I will bring news of the events to our west and what knowledge I have of it.
I'm pretty much okay. Let's pack up and immediately go.
I have to check. What's the status of my musicians? Does the thug get eaten or not?
They're perfectly.
the thug did not have to get eaten, but the musicians are doing okay. But they've got a big problem in that they have apparently the weather here is far more humid, and it has warped their lute strings. And while they're rapidly running out of lute strings.
This is terrible news.
Yes.
Okay, let's go west and find a way to store our loot strings and such that they won't get damaged.
All right, so if you guys are going to take the whole group west, I just need some survival checks to see what you guys... Honestly, it doesn't even matter what you guys... But you're going to have to move at half speed, so it's a hex every 2 days. But you'll, with a party your size, you'll get there. It's just a matter of if there's something big and bad and scary enough that shows up while you're on your way. So let's just go with... let's not worry about the survivals. With a group your size... Whatever you find is going to surprise you. It's not like you can going across the plains. You're not going to be noticed by anything. So let's just give me 6 percentiles. Let's just see if any of them are problematic. Let's see. Day 1, hyenas are not going to mess with a group your size. Day 11, someone gets stung by a scorpion. Do they have poison bad enough that it might kill someone? It is a green sting scorpion. No, not a problem there. 62. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to pick up on because we got a combat to deal with day 3 to start next session. Because we're not going to, I don't think, have time to do a combat with a pride of lions right now. But during the night, when you guys camp out in the wilderness, some of your people are getting attacked by lions. So let's pick up next session. 6 lions attack. Traveling. We're going to see how many people in your group die. Because lions are pretty good at eating civilians before you guys get there. We'll worry about watches and all that kind of stuff next week, next session. Because it would probably take about an hour to solve a fight like that. Lions are pretty dangerous.
We'll see how many of us join that.
How long has Matt's character been dead now?
A while.
About 3 days or 2 days? No, about 4 days. About 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Literally, all I'm gonna do is just go through that book. Raised dead, him.
Yeah, there is no raised dead in that book. That's a cleric spell.
I was just gonna pray over his
Yeah,
grave.
Well, if you're gonna pray for some higher stats when he rolls his new one.
I had
Yeah.
a feeling that's what he was doing.
Oh, as soon as he said chaotic neutral, I'm like, oh, I know exactly the road this is going.
Matt, I've got 2 characters here.
No, I think I'm going to sit this one out. I'll peanut gallery.
I got you.
Oh.
Why is that?
Come on.
You just keep doing what you do. So next week, I guess, is I'm up, Traveler, and then we got E and Chris and Peg,
Mhm.
and then we'll be back around to your game, Matt.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Mac.
4 weeks from now.
Yeah, 4 or
Yeah.
5 weeks. So depending on what happens between now and then, we may change the schedule around. So
All right, cool. Then I will see you guys then.
everyone take care.
Good night, all.
Night, everyone.
All right. Good night.
Yep.